Wan-Bissaka kept it in, just about preventing the corner. Bowen then challenged by Florentino, loses out to Florentino. Hartman gives him it back, gets it once more from Cullen. Hartman takes it towards the byline, drives the low ball into the box. It's Potts who was in the way, and the clearance is completed. Wilson will track to Anzabi with the head start, and he turns and just rolls it short for Cullen. Comes back to Dubravka. Another smart Premier League signing by Burnley in the summer. Cullen got caught under his feet briefly, gets it away from Paquetá, moves it on to Ugachukwu. A really solid challenge by Somerville, comes to Diouf on this near side, and he gives it to Tadiba. Benches might come into play during this second half. West Ham's is the keeper Meds Hermansen, Kyle Walker-Peters, Igor Julio, Luis Guillama, Guido Rodriguez, Sungutu Magassa, Thomas Soucek, Andy Irving, and the youngster Alridas Galambekis, who's still waiting for his senior debut. For Burnley, Max Weiss is the keeper, Jakob Brun-Larsen, Lyle Foster, Marcus Edwards, Hjalmar Ekdal as West Ham go forward, but the offside flag is up against Somerville. Lucas Pires, Armando Broya, Hannibal and Josh Laurent. Ball is with Florentino in the centre circle for Burnley, gives it to Cullen. Moves it back behind Cullen to Florentino for Tuanzebe.
I think you look at this Burnley team, and you can also put Leeds and Sunderland into the equation as well. The profile of players they've signed this summer, really good for the Premier League to give them a real chance of staying up. So much power. Leeds have gone for so much height in their team. They realise that the physical demand between the Premier League and the Championship are huge.
Off the top of my head, Leeds are the only one of the three that hasn't gone for that sort of big, experienced Premier League signing, have they?
Yeah.
In the mould of the Xhakas and the Walkers that I've already mentioned.
Yeah.
In this one, and the Dubravka's, been vital to that as well. Although I'm a huge fan of Robin Roofs at Sunderland. Talking new keepers, he's not a Premier League experienced one, but my word. There's a nice ball over the top for Florentino. Can Jadon Anthony keep it in? No. Looked like it was holding up for him for just a moment. Wondered who was going to go there. West Ham took a gamble, just allowing it to drop beyond them and backing Anthony not to get there. They were right, but if it just held up, hit a slight divot, they were asleep.
Yeah, it's a risky game to play that. But talking about the three newly promoted sides, they've gone for that pace and power, whereas over the last few years you've seen teams come up, Burnley specifically.
Yeah, gone footballing.
Yeah. And that's not to say these sides don't play football, because they do.
Wan-Bissaka is checked as an attempted give and go with Bowen. And Michael Salisbury points in the direction of a free kick for the home team. 1-1. 7 gone in this second half. West Ham 4 points and 4 places worse off than at this stage last season, when they finished 14th. Finished 4 places below that this season, and they're relegated. Had 9 shots on target in that win over Newcastle. That is more than the other games in Nuno's reign combined. That was the performance level there. Paquetá and Potts over this free kick. Paquetá delivers into the arms of the goalkeeper. By the way, going back to your Paquetá comments earlier, surely Pep Guardiola doesn't try to sign a player that's no good, does he? And if it wasn't for the what turned out to be false allegations against him, that signing would have happened with Man City, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but even the great Guardiola, he signed some big money players who are nowhere near it. You think of the likes of Calvin Phillips or even Nico Gonzalez at the moment. They just don't look like Manchester City players at all. I think
convinced by Nico Gonzalez?
No. I think he will look a little bit better than what he actually is in that Man City team, not having to defend for 90 minutes. But yeah, for me, he's a real weak link in that side.
Didn't we say that about Rodri the first year?
Maybe
I
you
remember
did.
watching Rodri and thinking, not totally sure. I
Yeah.
mean, he'd replaced sort of the great Fernandinho, hadn't he? And obviously a completely different player. But it's like it took a year to get going.
Yeah,
and then suddenly you went, oh yeah, get it.
Yeah, Rodri was nowhere near the level of player we see now when he first joined. But I'd be amazed if Nico Gonzalez had that sort of turnaround.
Well, I mean, you know, go and win a Ballon d'Or. I'm not suggesting he's going to do that, but ball is with West Ham at the back with Freddie Potts. Squares it to Todibo. One apiece into the 10th minute of this second half. Nothing really to shout about too much during this second period. It's cagey, and it goes a bit back to what we were saying about these two teams finding it difficult to really go for it when they're level in a game. As a yellow card goes against Zian Fleming for a trip there on Potts. So the goal scorer now goes into the referee's notebook.
Yeah, he just clips his heels. Not sure the referee had to bring out the yellow card there. I know they normally are, but I just think sometimes you can't really get your body out of the way.
Opportunity to deliver from a deep situation. Potts is going to do just that. It's going to find its way all the way to Paquetá on the left side of the area. Square ball into the area is dealt with by Cullen. Cullen and Potts basically doing the same jobs for their teams today.
Yeah, he's been good today, Cullen. Really good.
Somerville. Fernandez. Diouf. Todibo. Fernandez. Forward ball to Potts. Comes back to Kilman. Now they find Paquetá, tries a trick straight into Chauner. Gets away, then loses out to Paquetá again. Paquetá bounces off of Zian Fleming, somehow gets away from Florentino. Finds Bowen, Paquetá's forward ball hits Kilman. Sliding challenge by Potts onto Florentino, into touch over on the far side, West Ham throw.
Yeah, Florentino's a real destroyer in midfield. Covers the ground so well, never scared of going into a tackle. Good player.
Still 1-0 between Everton and Fulham. Only goal of the game so far from Idrissa Gana Gueye. Potts looks like he's just touching his hamstring there. And he's walking, holding it heavily, and that will be a blow in midfield. And you want that to be a strain rather than anything more, because if it's just a strain and you get him off, it's only the international break. His team might have to do some defending here though. Florentino, a little bit behind Jadon Anthony, just checks, gives it back to Florentino. Just found the gap there to Estev. And they come back to their goalkeeper. Martin Dubravka finds a pass down the middle to Cullen, a little bit of space to take it on the half turn. Turns and faces forward. Now forward and left for Hartman. Hartman, that's a nice gap he's found to Ugochukwu. Anthony available on the run down the left-hand side. Two in the box to clip it up to. One is Zian Fleming who heads over. Had to try and generate the power himself and was just a little bit underneath it when it came to him. And that's a chance for Burnley, the first chance of the second half.
Yeah, it's a brilliant move from Burnley, but honestly, how easy is that from a West Ham perspective? Dubravka breaks the line when he passes it through to Cullen. He has all the time in the world. He finds Hartman, who breaks the line when he finds Ugochukwu, who has all the time in the world. Just so easy from a West Ham perspective. I know Freddie Potts is down now, so they were kind of with 10 men for that move. You've got to get tighter to players, and your gaps between midfield, your forward line and midfield and your defence have to be tighter.
Potts is going off here, isn't he? I don't think there's any doubt. He looks really frustrated. But as I mentioned, that is, you know, obviously he wants to finish the game really, but that is perfect timing to just take him off and not take any risk. I mean, you would know more than me about a hamstring problem. You know, don't tear it and you're possibly back after the international break, right?
I've never got into the gear of doing a hamstring injury, to be honest with you. But no, you're totally right. That from what it looks like, he should hopefully be available for the game after the international break. We've seen some terrible hamstring injuries over the past few months. You think of a few of the Arsenal boys, Saka, Havertz, Gabriel. They had really bad ones. This doesn't seem that.
No, it doesn't. And I mean, you know, whatever you think of Paquetá as a player, you know, you want him for numbers because they are without Paquetá now with that suspension.
Oh, for sure.
Against Bournemouth next time out. Potts looks like he's going to come back on. Is it worth the risk?
Well, he has options on the bench. He's obviously got Magassa, Irving, Souček, who can all play that role. Souček, obviously off the back of scoring last week, might be the one that he would turn to.
Different sort of player, but he's got that history in this game, scoring the winner at Turf Moor a couple of seasons ago. But he's scored in 2 of the last 3 when he's played against Burnley. Offside flag went up there. Cullen tries to take it. And with the score still West Ham 1, Burnley 1. Freddie Potts is back on the field after what looked like a hamstring problem. He's not moving freely, I'll tell you. I can't imagine they're going to keep him on as Ian Fleming tries to get around the corner for Jadon Anthony. Fleming with the complete centre-forward performance really so far today. As Chowner fights for it on this near side. Good strength by Crescencio Somerville to force him wide. Yeah, he's not staying on. No. And it is going to be Thomas Souček who will replace him as and when. Wasn't worth it for Potts. Hamstring strain is very quick to recover from in these modern days of the medicine that are available to these Premier League clubs. A hamstring tear is weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what he does with the Souček change, whether he puts Souček in next to Matheus Fernandes and Paquetá a little bit higher, or whether he has Souček as the highest man. And that's what I would go for. Get Souček in and around Callum Wilson. He's at his best when there's crosses coming into the box and he can attack it. I also don't think he covers ground great in front of his back four when he's playing there.
It's just been a day where Burnley have felt just slightly short in terms of those really golden opportunities. Have both had the same number of shots in this game. 1 shot on target each. Those are the goals. Burnley have been credited with 2 big chances. As the phrase goes, 2 West Ham's 1. And those 2, I think, would both have fallen to Fleming's headers. Seen the one in the second half, which is headed over. And then the brilliant goal that he scored, and West Ham's would be their goal as well. As Chowner loses out there to Diouf, and he's managed to find a ball down the line for Somerville. It's just a bit behind Bowen. Picked up by Florentino. To Chowner. Loads of space to deliver the ball across to Brilinci Hartman. Hartman up to Anthony. Feels like that side of the field, you know, with the sort of issues you've been talking about with Bowen, very much matched by Anthony.
Yeah.
And if there's anything going to happen, it's going to be on this side of the field, which Kyle Walker is occupying at the moment. He's going to try a long forward delivery to Hartman, nowhere close to him. And that was an easy one for Areola, who's bowled out up to halfway. And here is Jarrod Bowen. Bowen with Anthony trying to do the defending. After Hartman had gone forward, Bowen takes it to the byline, hands the cross up to Wilson! Just behind him. Kyle Walker did enough to put him off as well. Picked up on the near side by Chowner, brought down by Diouf. Free kick for Burnley.
Yeah, it's a soft free kick from the referee's point of view, but Diouf, there's no need. Again, similar to Wan-Bissaka in the first half. They're facing their own goal. They're not in great possession of the ball. Just keep him penned in there. But that was a lot better from Jarrod Bowen. He gets to half a yard down on his right foot. He just dinks it up. It's always one of the rules when you get to the byline, you either dink it up to the back post or you cut it back along the floor. And it's just eludes Callum Wilson there.
Came off the arm, didn't it, of Tuanzebe? I'm not totally sure I'm suggesting it's a penalty, but it's one of those where, you know, everyone has a look, and if you're of a West Ham persuasion, you make a shout for it. Long one away by Dubravka. It's going to drop in the end to Schauner. Schauner coming in off the right. He's managed to find a little bit of a gap for Anthony. That's not a bad cutback, you know, but there's nobody in there. And West Ham will be able to clear through Diouf, only as far as Cullen. Had Bowen at his back. But, West Ham do emerge with it, and then Bowen over the top looking for Somerville. Taken out of the sky immaculately by Kyle Walker, the second best ever Premier League fullback. You didn't think we'd do a game feature with Kyle Walker without me mentioning it, did you? I managed to mention it last week when you weren't even here.
I'm actually stunned you've got him in second.
I'm referring to an long-running battle between Hobbs and myself, where I believe Ashley Cole is the greatest fullback in Premier League history, and he believes Kyle Walker is. I'm assuming you've got Ashley Cole second.
Yes. Yeah.
At least we can agree on the top two. Loom Chowner tries to get it past Diouf, who would one day like, of course, to be in that conversation. Long way to go there. He's found Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka up towards Bowen. Bowen gets away from Hartman and Anthony. Jared Bowen tries a through ball to Crescencio Somerville, but can't find a teammate. Blocked away by Burnley, but they come again. Souček to Diouf. Diouf's bending delivery. Oh, it looked initially like it was straight, didn't it? And then it bent at the last minute.
Honestly, the whip he puts on his crosses is ridiculous.
But it's like it wasn't going to whip, and then it changed direction mid-air. Oh, that's a nice turn by Somerville. Into the box he goes, down he goes. No claim for a penalty anywhere other than the fans. Paquetá comes back to Mateus Fernandes. West Ham building ahead of steam here. Diouf, Fernandes, cross comes in. Cullen makes the mistake. Maxime Esteve is there to head away. Picked up on the near side by Florentino, gets it back to Ugachukwu, and Burnley come away. Ugachukwu, great strength, moves it up to Zian Fleming. Ugachukwu was caught. Free kick goes Burnley's way.
Well, Jared Bowen spent about 30-40 seconds playing with just one boot on, and when that ball's coming in the box, I'm thinking if he scores here, it's not even going to count, because you're not allowed to kick the ball without a boot on. So he's finally getting it back on now.
And Burnley are making a change, and it feels wise. Not necessarily because, you know, there's anything wrong with any of the individuals out there, but just something has to change, because West Ham have just built something, albeit, generally speaking, it's felt like Burnley are the more likely in this second half, but just in the last 5 minutes, maybe that's swung again a bit. Loom Chowner off, Jakob Brun-Larsen on. From a Dortmund man, formerly of Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga. One of those that, you know, they were really hopeful would sort of replace Ousmane Dembele when he left Dortmund for all that money, rather wasted money by Barcelona in many ways, albeit that they recognised the talent. Here's Crescencio Somerville for West Ham, up towards Paquetá, left edge of the 18-yard box, cross off of Walker, and that'll be a corner. So taken quickly. Somerville gets it back from Paquetá. Somerville gives it to Diouf, takes a touch. Now the ball in is not so good this time. Away by Cullen on the 18-yard line. Mateus Fernandes heads it down into the centre circle for Wan-Bissaka. Bit of space for him to move towards the right-hand side and forwards. His cross is high and hanging. The header by Hartman drops beyond him out to Bowen. Oh, he's given that one away as Hartman. Somerville to Debo, gives it to Paquetá. Hits Kyle Walker in the box. Ricochets back. Paquetá again might open up for a shot. This time he hits Zian Fleming. Bounces to Florentino. Jadon Anthony gets on his bike. Gets forward, Jadon Anthony. Anthony's got Jakob Brun-Larsen far side of the area, who tries to find him. Diouf was there. And he's found Max Kilman, whose clearance isn't the best. Forward ball by Burnley to Ugachukwu. Brun-Larsen now up against Diouf. Gives it infield to Cullen. Laid off to Brun-Larsen. Comes back for Burnley once again. Touan Zabi joining in high up the field. Poor in the end, and West Ham come away with Bowen. Runs into Hartman. Oh, this is a bit of space for Anthony to attack the 18-yard box. Anthony's shot, blocked by Kilman. Comes back out to Cullen, thought about the shot. Instead, here's Brun Larsen. He gets it up, and the header comes in from Ugachukwu. And it was too close to the goalkeeper and an easy claim for Alphonse Areola.
Yeah, honestly, so bad from Jadon Anthony twice in the last minute of the Burnley attacks. I can understand him playing wide and having a tough day against Wan-Bissaka, but twice he had the one-on-one with Max Kilman. Once he's tried to put in an early cross, the second time he's got a shot blocked. That's unacceptable. He has to be getting at Kilman and beating him there.
1-1. Just over 20 minutes left for play. Still at Hill Dickinson Stadium, Everton 1, Fulham 0. I know that Everton won't be looking behind them at this moment in time, but a result of a draw between these two and then winning today would really suit them, actually.
Oh, it'd be brilliant for them.
Here's Cullen, up to Anthony, edge of the box. Ian Fleming trying to find space. He's back-heeled it to Kalichi Hartman, who's crosses overhead. And into touch on the near side.
Very unlike him, that. Normally cool and composed, picks out the right pass or cross in those situations.
Couple of changes happening for Burnley. We're going to see Hannibal and we're going to see Broja. And for West Ham, we're going to see Magassa. Callum Wilson, who, frankly, I mean, to be honest, I know he's scored. He's done nothing today, really, has he?
No, he's been anonymous. And I'm guessing that will push maybe Paquetá into the 9 position.
Yeah, Magassa being a more defensive-minded midfield player.
Also leaving the field, number 8, Leslie Gyokeres, and he'll be replaced by number 28, Hannibal.
So Hannibal on. Does feel like a straight swap for Ugachukwu, whose header was a decent enough one. With a pretty comfortable claim in the end, wasn't it, for the keeper? And Zian Fleming off for Armando Broja.
Did he score here last season, Ugachukwu, for Southampton?
Oh, now you're asking.
I think the day that they got a draw and they officially weren't the worst team in Premier League history.
Your memory is unbelievable. Here's a chance to shoot for Florentino. That is blocked. Away it comes. Hartman, ball in. Again, West Ham get to deal with it.
Oh, ball's just come out of the sky. Scott Parker's tried to bring it down, and that's probably the worst touch of his life. Unbelievable.
What was he like to play with?
Unbelievable. One of the most underrated players I think I've ever heard of.
Wow.
Because he's well known for what he's like without the ball, and he's brilliant and a brilliant leader and that side of the game. But with the football, he was special.
There was that period, you know, the West Ham time, you know, the year they went down where he won the award, but then also at Spurs he showed it, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was
that year at Charlton as well.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Little 10-15 yard passes wrapped around the corner into a number 9 or number 10's feet. I think he's the best I've played with at that.
Pretty sure he won an England Player of the Year as well at one point, didn't he? Might have been that year, 2011.
Yeah.
Did you think he'd be a coach?
Not really, because on a day-to-day he was very quiet, but then on match days, especially at half-time and when strong words needed to be said, a switch would just go off in him and he would go bright red and just go crazy. But really nice guy, and I could see him being a West Ham manager one day because I think the fans love him there.
Yeah. Alphonse Areola clears a goal kick away. Flick header on by Souček. Won't drop to Bowen. And West Ham are going to have to do some defending because it was a nice layoff there by Broja, who's briefly got in behind Kilman here. He's done well. Still left-hand channel though. Comes back to Anthony. Finds Broja again. He's gone past his first man. Wan-Bissaka's strong though. And Todibo is there. And over on that far side of the pitch, I think it's Jadon Anthony that's stayed down. And West Ham don't care. They're going to come forward through Mateus Fernandes. Fernandes into space for Crescencio Somerville. Somerville up against Tuanzebe. Onto his left foot. Side netting. Did Tuanzebe get a touch?
Surely got a touch. No, I thought it was a great tackle. But what a pass that is from Fernandes. First time on his left foot. Just gets it into the open space. Somerville in a great position. Tuanzebe smart, wants to show him on the left foot. It looks a corner all day long.
The assistant on the far side doesn't have a clue, does she?
No.
I think that's a block by Tuanzebe.
Yeah, it was great defending. He showed him onto his weaker side, and then even then he's decided that's not enough. As soon as his leg goes back, I'm going to commit and dive in.
Anthony has finally picked himself up after the challenge over on the far side by Kilman that left him in a heap. There wasn't much of a challenge, I have to say, and it's his side he's holding. In the end, it's a goal kick that's been given.
Yeah, that little passage of play where he got fouled was his best part of the game, Anthony. Him and Broja linked up a couple of times very nicely.
Feels like Somerville, as Cullen goes in hard in the midfield and will presumably get booked, will he? No. I mean, how is that not a yellow card and Zian Fleming's one from earlier was? What I was about to say is it feels like Crescencio Somerville needs a sort of statement goal for West Ham, doesn't it? To really get going, build his own confidence, but also build the faith of the West Ham fans that this is a man that's going to turn a big game.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the way that, it feels like Victor Gyokeres needs it for Arsenal. You know, go and win. Score the goal that earns you a win against Man City or against Liverpool or whatever. Similarly, this in some ways this is West Ham's equivalent to Arsenal playing Man City or Liverpool.
No,
go and win them this game.
I just think lovely pass.
Little touch by Paquetá in towards Fernandes, up towards Jared Bowen. Low shot is quite comfortably saved by the goalkeeper. Gathered it in safely, did Martin Dubravka.
Yeah, so I think Somerville, I mentioned earlier, I think he's been their player of the season and he's the one who brings the excitement. But he's here we go again.
Here they go again. It's Fernandes running with the ball. Left edge of the box is Somerville. Fernandes on the overlap. Behind it goes by Tuanzebe.
Yeah, it's sort of just like he's a young boy who's come through the academy and he's showing flashes and the crowd are really liking it. But we have to remember he's not. He's played a good few years now in the Premier League. He cost West Ham good money. Yeah. You need to start producing the goals and assists to go with it.
You certainly do. Can they deliver from this corner? Somerville will take it. Deep one towards the back post towards Kilman. Deep beaten to it. It's going to go out to the far side. Ball comes in! It's punched off the keeper onto Thomas Souček, who makes it West Ham 2, Burnley 1. Yet again the Hammers come from behind against the Clarets. And they've taken the lead through Thomas Souček, his third goal in his last 4 games against them.
Honestly, how many times does this guy get in the right place at the right time? Usually getting his head on the end of things, but today he's just needed his chest. Another set piece. Burnley won't be happy conceding 2 goals from set pieces.
It was Tuanzebe who got the first contact, came to Paquetá, keeper's pushed it onto Souček, who simply couldn't miss.
Yeah, it's weak goalkeeping, that from Dubravka. Honestly, it's weak goalkeeping. If you're not able to handle that, there's no pace in it from Paquetá. You should be punching that clear then. It shouldn't be palmed into the path for Souček. But that's a huge goal for West Ham.
2-1 they lead. Over and over again. They come from behind to earn points against Burnley. Have they done it one more time? This is a heartbreaker for the visitors, who have had so many periods in this game where they felt in control. Burnley have to respond in a way that West Ham did in the first half.
Yeah, just listen to the noise now though, the fans are loving it.
Ball forward finding Brun Larsen. He's actually tackled at the last moment by Diouf. Corner to Burnley. And we know that West Ham's Achilles heel is usually set pieces defensively. Tuanzebe forward. Nobody got out to Paquetá after Tuanzebe's touch there from that corner, did they either? And there's a problem in there as the delivery comes in. Keeper rather tamely heads that one away. Back in by Jadon Anthony. West Ham will try and break through Crescencio Somerville. Somerville down the left-hand side, up towards the halfway line. Loses out to Hannibal. He almost tricked himself there, did Somerville. Hannibal gives it to Walker. Cullen. West Ham 2, Burnley 1. With Florentino in the midfield. Tuanzebe to Hannibal. Hannibal gets it back off of Brun Larsen. Tackled by Mateus Fernandes. He's punching the air like he is a West Ham fan.
That's what we normally see.
Gave away the throw.
We normally see that from the Newcastle players. But no, the West Ham fans, they love that sort of passion.
That's a nice line-breaking pass to Hannibal. He's given it one more for Brun Larsen. Hannibal went on. Brun Larsen instead comes back for Walker. Cullen. And this feels like the sort of game, if Burnley lose it, that turns their season a bit into a real sort of relegation problem.
Yeah.
If you don't lose this game, you're still ahead of that curve slightly. Brun Larsen comes back to Walker. Can he deliver a good cross? Work to get. That's a brilliant ball! Will it break Fulham? Somehow Bronya can't get the shot in. It was the diving header initially at the near post by Florentino that caused the chaos. And Areola has kept it out.
Yeah.
What a ball by Walker. Flick header by Florentino. Feet from the keeper. And then Bronya couldn't divert it goalwards.
Yeah, it's a fantastic save, you have to say, from Areola with his legs. Walcott, crossing's never been his strongest point. That cross was brilliant. Florentino must have thought he scored.
Double change for Burnley. We're seeing Marcus Edwards come on for Jadon Anthony. And we've seen Lucas Pires, the Brazilian left-back, coming on as well for Quilinci Hartman. So West Ham have 9 minutes to hold out, leading 2-1 against Burnley. And they have come from behind to lead through that Thomas Souček goal. It was really rather gifted to them by some tame goalkeeping by Martin Dubravka. Souček simply couldn't miss. It rather hit him on the chest. And he celebrated like he'd bashed it in from 35 yards. But he is as West Ham a boy as you can be if you were born in the Czech Republic. Him and Vladimir Sofal have become proper West Ham legends. European trophy, of course. And he was so important in that run as well. Bouncing ball that Tuanzebe allows to drop beyond him. Maxime Esteve beats Bowen to it, who is the man leading the line after the substitution of Callum Wilson. Bowen takes it off of Brun Larsen over on that far side. Wan-Bissaka continues the run. Maxime Esteve comes across, makes the challenge. That is a throw-in for West Ham.
He's been good the second half, Wan-Bissaka. He's got forward when he can. It's been a real positive.
West Ham going to bring on Walker Peters and Igor Julio.
Yeah, this will be a back five.
And it is Crescencio Somerville, Lucas Paquetá who come off. Yeah, so Igor Julio goes in. But they are now left with both Kyle Walker-Peters and Aaron Wan-Bissaka and El Hadj Malik Diouf. I should point out, because of course Walker-Peters can play both sides. So one of them's going to go further forward. There's your money, takes your choice. Who are you going for?
I'm going to go for Diouf.
You think Walker-Peters on the left?
Oh, Walker-Peters looks like he's further forward on the left though. Yeah, maybe they've looked at it as that Kyle Walker could maybe be a bit of a threat. Obviously Marcus Edwards is on now, and we know how tricky he can be coming in on his left foot.
Wan-Bissaka with a delivery into the box, headed away by Esteve. Still a fight for it around the edge of the box though. It was a take there in the midfield by Edwards that doesn't come off. He hit the woodwork, by the way, with a free kick, with the final kick of the game against Arsenal. That nearly ended that clean sheet run. Ball is bashed away by Burnley. Hannibal trying to win that one, but Igor Julio was there first. It's West Ham coming forward now, though. And a foul challenge by Walker on Walker-Peters. That's not confusing at all. There's a free kick West Ham's way. The only good thing is that Kyle Walker didn't join West Ham. It was Walker and Walker-Peters in the same team. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe that's easier. Yeah, they were. Yeah. Poor touch by Souček. Wan-Bissaka tries to keep it in. It would have been a goal kick. Instead, he didn't prevent the throw. Probably a better option, I would say. Burnley taken the throw from the wrong position.
Dubravka will be so disappointed with that second goal.
We talked about his Premier League experience being massive for Burnley. No amount of experience can cater for that error that he has made. 5 minutes plus stoppage time left for play. West Ham 2, Burnley 1. Walker gets it caught under his feet. Diouf takes it off of him. Oh, he's got away from Walker, who's fallen onto the heel of Diouf.
That'll be a sore one. Very sore.
I think it will, yeah. And Walker's getting booked for it. It wasn't his fault. No. But that doesn't mean it's not a booking.
Yeah, it was accidental, but the full weight of Kyle Walker's body landing on Diouf there on the back of his ankle. That'll be an extremely sore one.
Oof, yeah. As you're trying to run, it's a muscle pull. Oh, and he actually gets both feet caught against each other as well underneath the body. It's one of those that could actually really do some damage.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he's up and he's looking all right, is Diouf.
Has anyone ever twisted both ankles at the same time?
El Haj Malik Diouf. Imagine if you just made history as a world first. Double ankle twist in one movement. Get the Guinness Book of Records on the line. Igor Julio comes back to Magassa.
Nice.
That's a nice feat by Julio as well. Man who's moved to West Ham ended Mark Gay's options of joining Liverpool as Souček. Shoot! Bounces back off the keeper, and Walker-Peters gets there ahead of Bowen to make it West Ham 3, Burnley 1, and secure the points. Kyle Walker-Peters, 2 subs, have scored 2 goals for West Ham to ensure the points now.
Oh, so such a massive goal that. When Souček's travelling with the ball, I'm thinking, don't listen to the crowd and shoot. Wan-Bissaka's on your outside, be sensible. But he takes a strike, really nice strike. Once again, though, I think Dubravka has to hold on to it. He can't spill it there. And then you've got Bowen and Kyle Walker-Peters both on side, rushing in to tap home. And Walker-Peters makes sure he gets there first.
He'll be furious, Bowen.
He'll be absolutely fuming. They both ended up on top of each other, stuck in the net. But yeah, it's brilliant that from Kyle Walker-Peters, a desire there. You just see, as the ball's travelling and Dubravka's not even saved it yet, Kyle Walker-Peters is just sprinting with one thing in mind, and that's to get the rebound. Massive, that's game over. West Ham win this, and what a huge win that will be.
Consecutive weeks, consecutive home wins. They're like London buses, these. You wait months and months and months for one, and then 2 home wins come in a week. Burnley surely beaten now. There's 2 minutes plus stoppage time left for play, and Souček's been the turner.
Oh, for sure. For sure, it's been massive, and that's what you want. You want people coming off the bench and affecting games. It'd be easy to just sulk around and not be too bothered. That's not Thomas Souček, proper professional, and He's got the win here for his team today.
And as we get a close-up on our monitor of Martin Dubravka's face, he looks sick as a parrot.
Yeah,
But he flapped at that like he had parrot wings rather than hands, didn't he? Twice, frankly.
Yeah, no, he won't be happy with a second or third goal.
And really, you've got to say, you know, Nick Pope came under scrutiny for 2 goals last week.
Yeah, rightly so.
Now Dubravka in this week. It's not to say West Ham probably don't deserve it. The response to going behind was outstanding as Thomas Souček bicycle kicks on the volley from a dropping goal kick. 2 firsts in the space of 5 minutes for West Ham players. A double twisted ankle and then a bicycle kick from a goal kick.
This was one of those games. It wasn't about how you played, because I think Burnley have probably played a better football in all honesty. This was all about the result, and West Ham have done brilliantly to dig themselves out of the hole.
Larson manages to get the ball in, and then the header towards goal by Edwards goes straight at the keeper.
And talking of goalkeepers, he's another one who needs a mention. That save he made from Florentino at 2-1 was huge.
Yes, it was. Yeah, big save. Six minutes of stoppage time, and even West Ham surely can't lose points from here. They're giving away a free kick though in a reasonable position. It would be in the extremities of a shot, you would think. Igor Julio's foul there, but you never know. Standing over it, Brun Larsen. Kyle Walker too. I've seen Kyle Walker absolute pummel free kicks in the past. I can't remember off the top of my head him scoring one.
No, I can't remember a free kick that he scored. He has got a very good strike and a very powerful strike.
But this, I suspect, as I say, on the extremities of where you might shoot from, might well be a crossfield delivery from Brun Larsen, who's bulked up over the course of his career. I remember him at the start of his time in Germany, where he was a spindly little wiry thing. A bit more physical now, looks built for the Premier League. I have to say, he's lining this up like he's going to shoot Jakob Brun Larsen. There he goes over the wall, and Areola had to make the save, you know. It's a good one.
It's a very good strike, that. Areola does well. There's some distance, and he gets the power, he gets the whip.
And here's the corner for Burnley. They'll take it short to Marcus Edwards. Brun Larsen making himself available again. Edwards wants it on his left foot to try and get a shot away. Couldn't do so in the end. Cullen's delivery, and that's going to fly over everyone's heads and go behind. And of course, the other important thing about that Kyle Walker-Peters goal is that it will move West Ham out of the relegation zone on their head-to-head over Burnley.
Wow.
They will have exactly the same record, but West Ham, having beaten them in this one, will technically be above them. I mean, I don't know whether they bother doing that in the middle of the season, but if the season actually ended now and it was about relegation, then Burnley would be the team in the drop zone, because they've played the same number, won the same number, drawn the same number, lost the same number, scored the same number, conceded the same number. So it goes to your head-to-head. Header away by West Ham comes only to Hannibal. Hannibal tries to release it. He's brought down by Todibo. His weakness in the first half doesn't look like it's going to be costly.
I'm not sure how he was shocked that a free kick was given.
Yeah, the only surprising thing is that he was surprised. So Brun Larsen and Lucas Pires over it. No relation. Not even the same nationality.
Tell you what, this is leaving things really tight towards the bottom of the table. Extremely tight.
Yeah, so as things stand, West Ham 10, Burnley 10, Leeds 11, Fulham 11, Newcastle 12, Brentford 13. Here's the delivery towards Walker at the back post, just couldn't make contact. Just wide.
Yeah, dangerous delivery. Walker was just never getting there. He was always just a yard off it.
Wicked pace and dip on that.
Yeah.
Brun Larsen. And Walker's a bit fortunate because his left leg went one side of the post and his right leg went the other.
But this is how tight the league is. A few weeks ago, I would have said, after the couple of results they had, Brentford are fine, they don't need to look out over their shoulder. Now, even they're only 3 points above the relegation zone.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Newcastle at home tomorrow for Brentford. I think Brentford will be fine.
Yeah.
Is Burnley just still going but not really creating anything. Broya's ball down the right, Diouf deals with it, anywhere will do, into the arms of Scott Parker. Catching it doesn't help his side in any way. They've got the ball high up the field and then they've come all the way back. Hannibal gives it to Estevao, that's poor. And here come West Ham again. And it's Bowen who can't find Souček. Stepping out of defence. It's Tuan Zabi. Hannibal round the corner, brought down by Mateus Fernandes. Yellow card for Mateus Fernandes.
You know what, it doesn't matter in the scheme of this game, but Mateus Fernandes, why pick up a yellow there? They add up over the season, and if you end up missing an important game further on down the line, just no need.
Everton have a second goal. Michael Keane against Fulham.
Player.
Everton fans' favourite player, that's for sure. Here's Florentino. And they attack again down the left-hand side with Pires, and then here's Brun Larsen. Pires gives him it back. Brun Larsen's made a difference since coming on, by the way. Hannibal, who arguably hasn't, has gone for goal from distance, so it's spilled by the keeper, and it's in! Now, was the keeper fouled? Cullen has scored!
There's some hit by Hannibal, I'll tell you that.
It is a goal, and it's Cullen against his old side. Areola wants a foul. I think that's just plain old handling error.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable hit from Hannibal. He has no right to even shoot from there. The goalkeeper has to catch that.
Oh, unless it's kicked out of his hands, the second one, because he drops it, he does get something on it, the keeper again. And it's the question if he's... I mean, he has to have it under control, doesn't he? It doesn't matter whether he's got two hands on it.
I think he's got it in his hands, but it's such a bad error, I'll just be giving that as a goal.
Let's see, here we go. This is the angle where we'll see. I think it's kicked out of his hands.
Yeah.
My suspicion is that this gets ruled out. They are checking it.
Yeah, I think that'll be ruled out.
It probably won't change the outcome. Probably. But this is about a handling error by Areola. If he just catches it, or pushes it out, then we're not talking about it.
The ball's travelled about 30 yards towards him. Can he not see? He gave the goal. Wow. Or has he?
I've not yet got confirmation from the VAR. Yeah, goal. No foul from Josh Cullen. He has to have it under some control. I have to say, when I looked at the close-up, it looked to me like there was a bit of control, but maybe it was just sort of fingertip control on the ball. Either way, VAR's given it, and it's 3-2. Well, for my money, there's no time left. And I think West Ham will have done it, and they have done it. They have won. Areola's error does not cost them, but that goal does put Burnley back above West Ham in the league. And who knows? Yeah. Who knows the importance of that at the end of the season? Either way, It is back-to-back wins for West Ham in the Premier League, and it is a long, long time since they've been able to say that. A game that perhaps we did not expect to end in a 5.
Millwall 1, Preston 1, Norwich 1, Leicester City 2. You've got to wonder what that's going to mean for Liam Manning at Norwich. Norwich deep in the relegation zone. Sheffield United 0, QPR 0, Southampton 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Swansea 1. Also,
This is exactly what we want to do. We want to learn from the best, and it will be a good test for us.
So those are the two managers. 7 minutes to go until kick-off. Breezy conditions, a bit of rain in the air at the Stadium of Light. It is Sunderland against Arsenal. The last post is just taking place Remembrance Sunday weekend, and we'll take in some of that atmosphere when we get into kick-off. Eddie McGoldrick, though, is alongside me. Arsenal fans are a little bit salty at the moment for one reason. Premier League Manager of the Month, Arsenal.
Wow.
Played 3, won 3, 0 goals conceded. Manchester United played 3, won 3, and Ruben Amorim got the award over Arteta. Right decision?
Awful decision.
I mean, they did win at Anfield, though, Manchester United.
Yeah, and possibly. I mean, is it a sympathetic vote? Is it a sympathy vote for... but you're top of the table. Top of the table. You've got 8 clean sheets, whether it's... I know it's done over a month, but in that time, like you said, Ben, 3 clean sheets, 3 wins. You're top of the table by 6 points. How is he not one manager of the month? It's bizarre, absolutely bizarre. But you know, the people that are making these decisions are clearly, well, I'll keep that opinion to myself. But yeah, strange one.
In many ways, though, a backhanded compliment, because we've become so nonchalant. Arsenal winning, you could say, and I'm sure the fans would rather, and the players and Arteta, be top of the table as opposed to getting the Manager of the Month award, but both would be a bonus. Premier League Live then, and we'll head over the Stadium of Light for full match commentary in just a moment. The teams are in the tunnel. There's a beautiful poppy logo in the background made by a series of flags all around the Stadium of Light, paying tribute for Remembrance Sunday, and kick-off is only 5 minutes away. Ben Jacobs and Eddie McGoldrick for Sunderland against Arsenal on Premier League Live.
Previously on White and Jordan.
The Championship gets an old geezer swinging a rattle. It's all about packaging and imagery and stardust, and the Championship and the EFL wants to be looked like the runt of a litter.
More meat, less waffle.
The opportunities are huge.
White and Jordan.
Join the Binary Broadcast Blowout weekday mornings from 10
on the world-famous TalkSport.
In the year 2000, TalkSport established an elite breakfast show for the top 1% of former professional footballers. Alan Brazil is the original Maverick.
Flaps up for the football. Turbocharged twin-engine breakfast radio with Alan callsign Roll Out the Barrel Brazil.
Turn and burn, baby. And Ray Party 7 Parlour.
Well, can you keep this thing the right way up? My beer's going everywhere.
The all-action TalkSport Superstar Breakfast with Alan Maverick Brazil.
I've been flying through the danger zone for 20 years.
And his wingman, me, Ray Party Parlour.
Every Friday morning from 6 on TalkSport.
I feel the need for speed.
TalkSport Drive. Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport.
TalkSport Drive with me, Darren Bent.
And me, Andy Goldstein.
All-terrain sports radio for a power-hungry nation.
The national radio show with a bootload of sport.
Unrivaled, opinionated comment from the biggest names in sport and Andy Goldstein.
Mirror, signal, move over for TalkSport Drive.
with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport.
The fastest football on the way home.
Get updates on the teams and squads, plus all the latest betting odds. All it takes is just one tap. Kill boredom dead with the TalkSport app.
The TalkSport app. Hear, watch and scroll unbeatable content from the world's biggest sports radio station. Whenever you want, wherever you want. Available from the App Store now. Terms and conditions apply.
Week in the Tackle with Tom Ruddy and Brian Dunseth is a weekly podcast where we tackle the top stories from the world of football.
We'll be talking about the Premier League, Champions League, Major League Soccer, and of course, look ahead to the World Cup.
A full year of hype followed by an ignominious group stage exit. Just hook it to my veins.
Rennie, you talking about the United States or England?
Good point. Well made. Likely both.
A Week in the Tackle is available wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe today so you don't miss a single episode.
Reasons to like TalkSport. 1, 2, 3. A bit of Simon Jordan. The hottest news from F1. The latest transfer deals done. Hawks me.
Rallies with the swinging 70s and
Tony Cascarino. A trip to the casino. A pint of cappuccino. Alan Brazil.
Just brilliant.
Adrian Durham. Come here if you want some. We'll bloom and take you all on TalkSport Scott Skills.
Don't be a blockhead. Listen to TalkSport on DAB Digital Radio 1089 and 10:53 AM on the app and on your smart speaker.
TalkSport.
Premier League Live, good afternoon from the Stadium of Light. Ben Jacobs and Eddie McGoldrick for Sunderland against the league leaders Arsenal will take in the last post in just a moment. There's beautiful tribute at the Stadium of Light. Wreaths are being laid in the centre and the whole of the Stadium of Light has a poppy made out of red flags, and at the moment the last post is just beginning. Beautiful rendition of the last post there. Remembrance Sunday held, of course, on the 9th of November to commemorate the contribution of British and Commonwealth military and civilian servicemen and women in the two world wars and later conflicts as well. Both kits have a poppy on them. Eddie McGoldrick alongside me before I run through the team news. Beautiful sort of tifo using different coloured flags all around the Stadium of Light. That was a fitting tribute.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. It's always great to see on this weekend, the one weekend of the year where it's always done throughout the football pyramid. So yeah, and I know it's Watford last night done a terrific one as well. So clubs really pushing that out there and showing that they care and what it means.
As far as the team news is concerned, Sunderland are coming off the back of a 1-1 draw against Everton. They're in excellent form. They're fifth in the table at the moment, and they name an unchanged side for the visit of Arsenal as Granit Xhaka faces his former side. Ruffs, Hume, Mukiele, Ballard, Gertruda, Renildo a summer signing, Xhaka, Siddiqui, Traore, Lefay, who's had an excellent season, and Isidore is leading the line. Patterson, Neal, Talby, Brobby, Rigg, Mayenda, O'Neill, Adringa and Masuaku on the bench for the home side. There's three changes for Arsenal. Gyokeres is injured too early for Noni Madueke. Martin Zubamende back for suspension. Eberici Eze and Ricardo Cagliafori also come into the 11, and Mikel Merino leads the line. Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel Calafori, Zubamendi, Rice, Eze, Saka, Trossard, Merino. Subs: Kepa, White, Luis Skelly, Hincape, Mosquera, Norgard, Wanieri, Dowman the youngster, and Harriman Anus also makes the bench as well. Kick-off just a minute away. We're slightly delayed. It is 5:32 local time under the lights at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland in their usual white and red stripes, black shorts and white and red socks, and Arsenal in a kind of purpley blue away kit with a poppy right in the middle. Referee Craig Pawson, VAR James Bell, Eddie McGoldrick alongside me. What can we expect from an intriguing, I think, next 90 minutes?
Yeah, fascinating. It's going to be certainly Sunderland's biggest test of the season so far. What a start has been for them, and I'm interested and intrigued to see how they play this out. Will they go for Arsenal? Will they match them going forward on the front foot, or will they be a little bit more Arsenal pragmatic, as everybody's calling them, and sit in and see how it goes?
Sunderland look like they've got a back 5-5-4-1 formation. Isidore, the lone striker, will confirm though when they have a little bit more possession the exact shape, as Gertruda goes back to Roths, who's just outside his area in a central position. 30 seconds gone here at the Stadium of Light. First against fifth. Arsenal looking to extend their lead at the top of the Premier League, and it follows West Ham 3, Burnley 2, Everton 2, Fulham 0, and a thrilling 2-2 draw between Spurs and Manchester United, where De Ligt rescued a point after it looked like Richarlison had won the game for the home side. 0-0 here, and now the ball has found its way to Raya, who was being pressed there and under pressure has to scurry and drill the ball out for a throw into Sunderland. And Sunderland, of course, are capable of a long and dangerous throw.
Yeah, it's like a new invention, this new throw-in, these set pieces. It's like it's never been around in football before, over the hundreds and the decades and years of it being played. So, yeah, but it is clearly a threat at this moment in time.
Don't tell Tony Pulis that.
That's it.
Sunderland just having to wait here. We've got a yellow ball, by the way. The referee's just running over towards the fourth official, and it looks like we've got a substitution early on. But it's not a player, it's the official's flag.
Yeah. Something's gone wrong with that one, isn't it?
Looks like he lost the top of it, the black holder.
He's got it back now.
So the referee, Craig Pawson, having to do some early running here. Flag substitution takes place even though the original one has been fixed. The substitute gets put by the advertising boards.
Great pressing from Sunderland actually in that ball back into Raya.
So finally, we have this throw-in in the yellow winter ball. It's long in towards the 6-yard area. It's half cleared. Saka gets his head to it on the edge of the area. Rice is hustling. Doesn't get any real distance, but it spins away to the right-hand side. More good hustle by Sunderland to win it back on this near left-hand side with Lefay, who is in a very interesting battle with Urian Timber, and Timber shows good strength but has to put the ball out of play. Another Sunderland throw-in, level with the left-hand corner flag on this near side.
Good start from Sunderland. The breeze, obviously, the gaffer's got into them. They've started on the front foot, out of the blocks, pressing Arsenal back. Really good start. Crowd on their feet, getting right behind them.
Nordi Mukiele wipes the ball down from this near left-hand side, and again will arrow it in towards the 6-yard area, high and looping. Again, well dealt with, and now there might be a counter-attack on here as Declan Rice comes sprinting away. He'll just lay it off to Trossard. Little give and go back to Rice. Gertruda is pressing him, and Rice is forced backwards. And Sunderland have got good shape so far, and Arsenal being given no time on the ball. Saliba pressed again out to the right hand side, and Timber down the line to Saka. He's being harried as well by Hume. Helps it on though to Marino, who's on this near right hand side, and a tackle once again comes in, this time Siddiqui with a foot in, and Arsenal are going to struggle to break the press. Sunderland look the hungrier of the two sides in this opening 4 minutes.
Yeah, it is. It's early doors, but Ben, and they're clear in their mindset what they need to do, what they have to do. Can they maintain it?
Timber with the throw-in down the right-hand side to Marino, who thought that he was fouled. Firm challenge by Gertruda. No free kick, but it's out for an Arsenal throw-in.
Big lad, isn't he? There's certainly a massive physical test for Arsenal today, and that's been one of the keys to Arsenal's success this season. They're so physical in both boxes as well, and it looks like a good matchup here today.
Arsenal unbeaten in 15 Premier League meetings against Sunderland, 1-15 drawn 5. Sunderland have only won 3 of 32 all time, and now it's going to be Declan Rice's turn to unapologetically launch the ball into the box. In it comes by Rice towards the 6-yard area. Too many Sunderland shirts in the way. Back to Rice, who then mishits his low cross. And Sunderland should be able to bring the ball away through Lefay. A bit like a rugby game at the moment.
Yeah. Nervy start from Arsenal as well.
Both sides looking for territory as Sunderland come forwards. And that's not a bad ball forwards by Wilson Isidore. A little bit too strong though. Willing runner in Bertrand Traoré ahead of him. But Raya will be able to mop it up.
They've got pace up front as well, that want to run behind. So big test this today for Saliba and Gabriel.
Sunderland have taken 7 points from their last 9 as Arsenal bring it up towards the edge of the area. First touch for Eberechi in his bright yellow boots. Short ball to Trossard on the left-hand side. 2 come over to him. Trossard crosses first time, not a bad ball. Marino dived at the near post and he's been clattered. I don't think we're going to see any VAR check or suggestion that he was fouled, but he was just trying to twist those neck muscles and he's ended up picking up a head injury here.
It's a clash with Ballard, so he's got some blood on his ear there.
Dangerous ball in by Leandro Trossard.
Yeah, great ball.
Ballard taking up a great position. He won the header, and then just with the follow-through caught
Mourinho. But that is what Mourinho's good at. Different type of player, obviously, to Gyokeres. Won't run the channels, won't run the lines, but he knows where the goal is. Has a brilliant way of just drifting into those positions for crosses coming in. Understands where that ball's going to drop, and is always on the end of it. Terrific player.
Marino's still down and is getting some treatment for a blood injury. There'll be concussion protocol as well. He was actually quite brave trying to get goal side of Ballard, but it was a really good position by Ballard and he won the header, and Marino, in trying to just get a touch on it and then from point blank range, it might have asked a question of Robin Ruffs, but instead he neither won the ball nor got anything on goal and is still down with a head injury.
This will be a blow for Arsenal if he has to go off.
Yeah, it certainly will. Victor Gyokeres not in the squad. Ethan Nwaneri, Max Dowman, both attack-minded options if needed on the bench. But Arsenal are short of defined number 9s. Gabby Jesus on his way back from a long-term injury.
Yeah, I can see what Arteta's saying there. He's going to the assistant referee about Ballard's elbow. And before he's even made contact with the ball, Ballard, he's looking to just stretch that left elbow out into Mourinho's face. Yeah, it's a difficult one.
I think it's one of those, though, where he wins a clean header, and then because Marino's so brave, he's almost pointing his head towards the defender's shoulder.
He's going in there, you're right, Ben, where it hurts, but I think Arteta's looking at it, and looking at it again, I'm not sure whether Ballard has to lead that initial contact with his elbow into Mourinho rather than going to attack the ball, is what all I'm saying. So I think that's what Arteta was saying on the touchline.
VAR have checked and cleared. 8 minutes gone, Sunderland 0, Arsenal 0, but Marino has been down on the ground for nearly 3 minutes now, so already we're going to get a fair bit of added time. Just a reminder, 0-0 here, West Ham 3, Burnley 2, full time from earlier, much needed win for the Hammers. There were protests against the ownership before that game. Everton 2, Fulham 0, and 2-2 between Spurs and Manchester United in the early kick-off, and in the late match, Chelsea taking on managerless Wolves. I said by mistake Gary O'Neill was coming back. It's not, of course, it's Rob Edwards who will join, but we're not expecting him to be in the dugout in just a few hours' time. Is that a good appointment for Wolves? He's obviously got a really good affinity with the club.
No, I'm not so sure. No, and I'm really surprised that after Middlesbrough give him the job in the summer, potentially rescued him from, from where he'd been, getting the sack at Luton and out of work. It's a strange one. Whether he's instigated it or Steve Gibson has just given, whether he's had a chat with Steve Gibson and said, look, I've played there, I've been there, I was a kid there, went into the first team, I want to go. But it's a bit of a strange one. If he's gone off his own back, I think that's a little bit disrespectful towards Middlesbrough.
Could be a scenario where Middlesbrough are in the Premier League next season and Wolves are in the Championship.
So it's a strange one.
So we're still not back underway. It looks like it's the right ear of Mikel Merino. He was sitting on the ground quite gingerly, and we don't know yet whether he's going to be able to continue. Sometimes the innocuous blows, even though it doesn't appear to be that serious, but the kind of area, the ear, fragile, and Merino doesn't look too happy as he trots off, and Arsenal will assess whether he's to return or they'll be forced into an early substitution. But we are back underway, and Eze has the ball in the centre of the park for Arsenal, who are on this fantastic run, of course, of clean sheets and wins, and they can extend their lead with a victory to 28 points at the top of the Premier League. Manchester City closest as it stands on 19. Manchester United would have gone second today had they beaten Tottenham Hotspur. Sunderland, if they get a point, would go up to third, and were they to win, they would move to 21 points. They're already surely halfway, if not further, to safety.
Yeah. Without really, it's progress for Man United. But Sunderland, yeah, I mean, terrific. What a start. What an absolute start it's been. Their supporters are living the dream at the moment. The heady heights. So if they win here tonight, they go second.
11 minutes gone. Sunderland 0, Arsenal 0. Granit Xhaka has been so influential in this Sunderland run. 3 assists, 16 chances created, nearly 800 touches, and over 450 successful passes. As whilst I'm talking, Sunderland had a free kick, they went long, and there's an offside. So this stop-start game continues. Neither team really in a pattern of play, but Sunderland making it very difficult with their pressing for Arsenal to get going.
It's a problem for Arsenal, this, Ben. Their sheer approach to this game, Sunderland's approach to this game, is to get in and around Arsenal's back four. Lots of bodies there when that ball's coming up to the edge of the box. And you can clearly look at this Sunderland side, and physically, at this moment in time, they're a match.
Arsenal come down the right-hand side. Here's Jurriën Timber. Leandro Trossard having to be the lone striker at the moment, but Marino's just come back on and will trot into that area and seems to be okay. And he does make a run. Long ball forwards from the centre intended for Marino, but it's too overcooked, and it's all the way back to Ruffs once again in the Sunderland goal. And Sunderland now the team being pressed themselves. As backwards goes Siddique. Eze is pressing really well. Siddique plays a dangerous pass out, and it will be picked up on the edge of the area here on the right hand side. It's fed to Eberici Eze, scoops one into the box. It's a little bit too short for Marino, but now Timber will pick the ball up and find Saka. And now Timber once more. The poor clearance by Siddique originally found Zubimendi, but he didn't make the most of it. But Arsenal is still 35 yards from goal, and they now switch the ball to the left-hand side. Calafiori gets a touch. Zubimendi is central, but it goes square instead, and now it's at the feet of Saliba. Isidore is pressing, everyone behind the ball for Sunderland. Out to the left-hand side with the diagonal pass. Leandro Trossard fakes the cross, now chips one into the near post. Again, it's a bit too short for Marino. Sunderland with lots of bodies in there, but then a loose feet by Isidore, and that will be an Arsenal free kick on the edge of the area.
Better by Arsenal. Good play from Trossard, checks back. Another good ball in, but you just picked up on it there, Ben. Their bodies in the box everywhere, red and white shirts everywhere. So it's a clear pattern that's going to be their game plan today. But Arsenal much better there over the last couple of minutes, controlling the ball, dominating the ball, controlling the game.
14 minutes gone, so Gabriel was fouled, Isidore just with a high foot, and Gabriel held his ground and took an unintentional stud around the thigh area, and that gives Arsenal a free kick. It's probably at an angle to cross rather than shoot. Rice, Gabriel and Eze, the former Crystal Palace man, of course, standing over the ball. Rice looks the most likely to put this in based on how he's eyeing up the ball, but knowing Arsenal, maybe there's a surprise or a decoy because they have been so good with set pieces. Now Eze walks away, and Rice is the lone Gunners player standing over the ball. It's on the far left-hand side. It's about 30 yards from goal. Maybe Rice does feel he can have a crack here. The wall at 10 yards has 3 Arsenal players standing in front of it at about 7 yards. And then Marino is at the back post but standing outside the area. Up steps Rice, he does shoot, and it's parried away by Ruffs. It was kind of straight at him, and by the time the ball dipped, a lot of the sting was out of it, but Ruffs taking no chances, and he gets 2 firm wrists on it and punches it away for an Arsenal throw-in.
Yeah, he's hit the target, made the keeper work. Another opportunity to put the ball in the box, but Declan Rice's delivery this year has not only been top class, but it's key to Arsenal's success so far.
Throw in, And Rice is busy because he'll go over to take it. He launches it into the 6-yard area, little flick on, and then a crowd of Sunderland players able to again hoof it clear. Another throw-in from the same position. Rice thought about going short, and now we'll hand it off to Timber, which probably suggests this won't be a long throw-in because Rice is the specialist. Timber looking for options, not much movement, and he goes backwards. 16 minutes gone, Sunderland 0, Arsenal 0. Chances few and far between, but highly competitive. And now Arsenal, through Raya, having gone backwards from the throw-in, are going to launch it long and diagonal. Again, it's met with a Sunderland head, and yet again it's an Arsenal throw-in on the right-hand side. But Timber, who was trying to take it towards the edge of the area, is asked to take a few steps back towards the dugout. Throw-in, that's a bit more incisive, nearly finds Saka, but a foot comes in by Ronaldo, and Siddiqui was there as well, and between the two of them they toe poke it away, but it is behind for an Arsenal corner.
Yeah, and an opportunity for Rice to put it in again. Interestingly enough, looking at this Sunderland setup today, Arsenal are going to have to dominate the ball. They're going from back to front there quickly. Gyokeres is not inside, so they haven't got that physical presence. They're going to have to look at a different alternative and try and play through the lines and get it wide and slide little things through.
Gabriel to the left of the penalty spot, Calafiore at the back post to the left of the 6-yard area. Saka to take it rather than Rice. It's short to the edge of the area, and Eberici Eze, who spreads it over to Rice, and that was clearly off the training ground. It was well worked, but Rice took too long, and then a pretty tame shot is blocked, and it was heading anyway straight at Robin Ruffs.
Did you see the pace that Sunderland were out to him? But brilliant defending, great pressing.
I think because they went Eze and he took a little bit long, but the time the pass was made to Rice on the edge of the area, it was quite predictable, and as you say, Sunderland was straight out. Can they continue though at this pressing intensity for 90 minutes without tiring?
That is the key. That'll be the key for the Sunderland team.
Sunderland with Ruffs, Hume, Mukiele, Ballard, Gertruda and Ronaldo, the signing from Atletico Madrid. Traore, Xhaka ex-Arsenal, Siddiqui, Lefay and Isidore. And Arsenal with Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Calafiore, Rice, Subamende, Eze, Saka, Marino, who's okay after an early knock to the right ear, and Leandro Trossard, who's still so important to Arsenal, even though over the summer he was linked with a move away. Arsenal have the ball in the centre of the park. Saka out-muscled and falls to the ground, doesn't get a foul. Gertruda picks it up and plays a diagonal ball short to Lefay. And now Arsenal are trying to press. Sunderland finds Siddiqui, but then they have to go all the way back to Mandava, or Ronaldo as he prefers to be known. Not quite Ronaldo like Cristiano, but not far off. And Sunderland have the ball at the back as they spread the ball to the right-hand side. Of course, we've got a November international break forthcoming. Busy times for Arsenal playing in the Champions League, but at the moment they're in control there and on course to qualify in that top 8 and go straight into the knockout phase. But after this game and the international break, how about this, Eddie, for a string of fixtures? North London derby, Bayern Munich, both home games, and then away at Chelsea.
Wow. Well, they're certainly equipped. Good squad, all the bases covered at this moment in time, with Havertz, Jesus coming back and Odegaard still to come back into the fray.
Sunderland matching Arsenal at the moment. 20 minutes gone, but we'll have a fair amount of added time. Here's Isidore, helps it out to Traore on the right-hand side. He slipped at a vital moment when he was trying to take on Calafiore and get to the byline. And that's a bit of a let-off for Arsenal, as Rice does well to run the ball clear. And eventually it comes off a Sunderland player with Trossard challenging, and Arsenal have a throw-in deep inside their own half. But Isidore did really well there.
Yeah, good player. Really good find. It's had a good start to the season, and their levels at this moment in time are really, really high. They're getting behind the ball. I suggest they maybe settle down for 4 or 5 minutes, get a breather, because they can't continue at this pace.
Sunderland, since losing to Manchester United, beat Wolves 2-0. They got a fantastic 2-1 win away at Chelsea. They drew 1-1 with Everton, and after this they've got away at Fulham, home to Bournemouth, and then away at Liverpool and Manchester City, taking them into the December period. Declan Rice from the throw-in in the centre of the park. Arsenal on the ball. Zubimendi crosses over the halfway line but then checks back. Everyone behind the ball for Sunderland. Rice, the England international, hasn't got too many options through the centre, so again goes backwards. Timber now, wide right, cuts in field, being tracked by Lefay. Eberechi Eze, the ex-Palace man, to Declan Rice's England teammate. And now Trossard again hugging the touchline on that far left-hand side, looking for movement, not much ahead of him. Sunderland dropping even deeper now. Zubimendi picks it up 35 yards from goal. Square ball to Timber, quickly moved over to Saka on the right-hand side now. Timber again, Saka wanted a give and go, instead it goes to Merino, whose pass back to Timber's too short, and that's an easy clearance. Gertrude comes away with it, Lefay, and now Sunderland will go all the way back to their goalkeeper, Ruffs, and that gets a warm round of applause from the Stadium of Light. We're a quarter away through the game, 0-0, and Sunderland will be the happier of the two sides.
Definitely, Ben, holding their own at the moment. Good shape, good defending, playing in a low block at the moment, so they're saying to Arsenal, come on then, you're going to win this game today, you're going to have to break us down.
Haven't seen too much of Granit Xhaka yet. Sometimes he does go under the radar, at least defensively, because he does so much unsung work. Hasn't had that many opportunities to play progressive passes or get forwards yet. That may change as the game progresses.
I think today's always going to be one of those days where the tactics that they have to play is clearly they will suffer without the ball.
Arsenal, though, very patient. 22 minutes gone. They will back themselves to find a goal. And they've only conceded, remember, 3 goals this season. And that is a high in Europe's Big 5 leagues. Arsenal 3, Bayern 4, Roma 5, and Como and Dortmund 6. Declan Rice has it on the far left-hand side. Short ball to Leandro Trossard. 2 come over to him. Back to Rice again. He's got time to swing one in here. Ballard is there, another good position. And he heads it to Lefay, but then a slip. Eberechi Eze picks it up. And that was the first error by Sunderland. And Eze just tried to loop it into the top left-hand corner. But he was leaning back. He got enough pace on the ball, but it was too high and never came down.
It's a gift. It's a gift from Sunderland the first time in these opening 23 minutes. And Eze's got to do better there. He's got to make the keeper work. Be disappointed with that finish.
I think he had time to set himself and go for power, not placement.
Yeah, he did.
Goal kick to Sunderland, 23 minutes gone. Sunderland 0, Arsenal 0 on Premier League Live. Chelsea Wolves to come. And then tomorrow, Aston Villa Bournemouth, Brentford Newcastle, Palace against Brighton, Nottingham Forest Leeds, and the big one at 4:30, Manchester City against Liverpool. Here's Isidore for Sunderland, who are now inside the Arsenal half, but they go backwards to Ronaldo. Gertrude gets a touch, and Ballard on the halfway line. Eze is pressing him, but Ballard will cross over the halfway line, and Sunderland are enjoying some possession without necessarily taking too many risks, which you wouldn't expect them to do this early in the game. Ronaldo again over the halfway line, plays a little 1-2 with Lefay. And now Sunderland are making Arsenal run a little bit to try and win the ball back. Xhaka gets a touch. Captain, of course, for Sunderland, and warmly received by the away visiting fans of Arsenal. Back to Ruffs, who goes long. And down on the deck is Ronaldo, who wanted a free kick there.
Not happy, Timber, with the challenge.
Yeah, it's been given in Arsenal's favour.
I think he's going for the ball, isn't he, Ronaldo? But good play from Sunderland. There's a clear confidence about them from where they're sitting, the start they've had, and sitting fourth in the table at this point. It's a clear confidence that when they do have the ball, they're capable of playing and causing this Arsenal team some problems.
Ronaldo just felt that Timber stopped, but he's entitled to hold his position, and then he ran into him, and it was given in the end as an Arsenal free kick. But it's been wasted, and Lefay picks it up on the left-hand side, and Sunderland are growing in some confidence here. Lefay was allowed to run quite some distance there, 30 yards from goal, but then a poor pass as he looked for Isidore, and Raya off his line to gather. Arsenal just fell asleep there on the left-hand side, and Lefay didn't make the most of it, and now Arsenal start to work it short from the back, as we're accustomed to seeing them do. Raya, who is waiting and waiting here. Isidore got quite close to him in the end, and finally he distributes out to the left-hand side, where Gabriel picks it up. He goes long and too long, but it's well won back by Marino, and now here's Bukayo Saka, who didn't quite know where the ball was. Timber does well, I thought.
He's
anyway,
unlucky there.
He's going to be penalised for a foul, as down on the deck for Sunderland goes Enzo Lefay. But I actually thought that Timber maybe won the ball.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there. It's a little bit harsh. Oh, he's just caught him there. Yeah.
It was sort of simultaneous, wasn't it? He touched the ball and stood on the foot of Lefay. But I actually think he gets the ball first.
Yeah. See Mikel, he's a little bit disappointed again. He's frustrated. And that's due to the start that Sunderland have made and the problems they're causing. Arsenal haven't got into their stride yet.
Arsenal's defence has been so good this season that David Raya, in this clean sheet run, in the last 4 games has only faced 1 shot on target. So he needs to bring a book. Or something to keep him occupied.
He doesn't get that deck chair out as well.
Sunderland, though, are capable of scoring goals. Free kick in their favour. Somewhat harshly awarded against Timber, although he did stand on Lefay's foot, but the ball was definitely won first. It's launched long into the Arsenal half, and then a neat sort of back-heeled flick by Siddiqui keeps the play alive as far as Sunderland are concerned. It bounces in front of Lefay. Timber gets there first. Lefay is caught. Advantage played, and Isidore picks it up inside the area. Left-footed, shot first time. It bounced fortuitously into his path, but he drags it wide of the right-hand post. But that's a chance from close range. Isidore trying to get a poacher's finish, but he just couldn't hit the target.
And that is absolutely what Sunderland want. It's messy. It's unpredictable. The ball's up in the air, it's bouncing about. Timber's gone in, clash at heads, and then the ball's recycled back into that space. Timber should have been. Great opportunity, should have done better. Isidore.
Tough angle, and actually Traore was coming in at the back post. If he just hesitated, maybe a cross would have been the better option.
This is perfect for Sunderland at the moment. The way this game's panning out. Arsenal really got to get hold of this ball and start dominating. I think that's why Mikel's getting frustrated. He can see his team struggling to cope with this style of play from Sunderland. Haven't quite mastered it yet.
Ben Jacobs and Eddie McGoldrick with you. We've got another stoppage. Lefay had gone down with a head injury and is being treated, and Timber, in challenging Lefay, is also on the deck as well. And that will likely mean we're going to get 5+ minutes of added time when this half ends. Nearly half an hour gone. Sunderland 0, Arsenal 0. Chances few and far between. Arsenal with 3 attempts on goal, 1 on target, and Sunderland with 1 shot on goal. Isidore from just a moment ago, but it was about 2 yards wide from a tricky angle, but he kind of dragged it rather than got any power or direction behind the ball. Mikel Arteta and Leandro Trossard are just deep in tactical conversation, and no doubt that Regis Lebris will be the happier of the 2 managers so far. It's Sunderland 0, Arsenal 0 on Premier League Live. Earlier, West Ham 3, Burnley 2, Everton 2, Fulham 0, and Spurs Manchester United finishing 2-2 as Matthias de Ligt got a late equaliser when it looked like Richarlison had won the game for Tottenham Hotspur. Timber appears to be the worse off between himself and Lefay. There's just a cut above the eyebrow, so he's getting a little bit of Vaseline and pressure put to it.
Yeah, a lot of head stoppages.
But that just stops Arsenal getting into any kind of flow.
Yeah, any type of rhythm that they want, that they're used to. But like you said, this Arsenal team's a lot more patient now. although Arteta just seems to be a little bit frustrated on the touchline, and that's down to the impact that this Sunderland team and their shape and the way they're playing, style of football they're playing, has had on this Arsenal team. It's not getting it all his own way, but he has been a lot calmer, a lot patient.
Timber being taped up, and then he should be okay. Of course, there will be Premier League concussion protocol, though. And Mikel Arteta goes back to his seat momentarily after speaking to Trossard, and we should be back underway in just a moment. These two managers have never met before. Mikel Arteta did play 15 times as a player against Sunderland and scored 2 goals, both of them coming for Everton, and his only defeat against Sunderland was in Arsenal's 2-0 FA Cup 5th round away defeat all the way back in February 2012. So Timber's okay, and will just go off the field, and Lefebvre is on his feet as well. Mikel Merino stoppage about 3 minutes, this one about 3 minutes as well, so we're likely to have 6 or 7 minutes minimum added time. 31 minutes gone, it's Sunderland 0, Arsenal 0 on Premier League Live, and play will be resumed with Arsenal having the ball at the back. Goal kick after that Isidore effort went wide, and Raya now will restart things from inside his 6-yard area, and it looks like he's going to go long for once. Sunderland fans in great voice, a full Stadium of Light for one of their flagship fixtures of the season against the league leaders. Raya goes long down the left-hand side, it's too strong for Leandro Trossard, and Sunderland will have a throw-in on the halfway line. On the far right-hand side, down the line it goes. Isidore gets a touch. Arsenal think it's their ball, but it's just taken a little deflection off Trossard, and it will be a throw-in to Sunderland. Now midway inside the Arsenal half, still a bit far though to put this one straight in the box. Not too much movement. Xhaka is closest to the throw-in taker, Traore. It goes down the line, Isidore won't pick it up. Gabriel is there, he hacks it away long. Saka challenging, it hits his shoulder. Handball, say the home fans, but it definitely was shoulder rather than arm. Saka has to go backwards though. Merino gets a touch, he's still inside his own half, and he's well tackled. And now Ronaldo can come storming down the left-hand side to Siddiqui. Infield it goes to Lefebvre, back to Siddiqui again. Isidore is in the box, Siddiqui crosses first time, and it's cleared, and bravely, and we've got another stoppage here, and this time Xhaka making the firm challenge, and Merino going down, and there's a bit of afters there as Xhaka came in. He doesn't like the reaction from Merino here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see the replay if there's anything a little bit late. There it is. No, there's nothing in that. I think he's quite within his rights to be annoyed at Mourinho. Firm challenge there from Isidore as well. The Sunderland team, and Siddiqui, he's been a revelation so far. Breaking things up in midfield, he's tenacious, putting his foot in, wants to get forward. More take-ons than anybody else in the Premier League so far this season. Siddiqui.
Arsenal probably need to move the ball quicker. They're not getting any joy in the centre of the park. Rice, Zubimendi unable to really orchestrate this game at the moment. Merino is playing in a wide right position, and Eberechi Eze is being asked to be a false 9 as it stands. Merino on the right hand side finds Saka, he hot-foots his way into the area, gets the rub of the green. Saka's still going, eventually gets a left-footed shot, but it was wild. He sort of lost track of where the ball was, ran into a big bundle of players, it bounced back towards him and eventually just bobbled up, and he had a pop first time off the bounce with his left foot, but it was weak. But now Trossard comes down the left hand side, his cross is blocked, but it goes back to Trossard's feet. Eze wanted it, he was setting himself to shoot. Trossard took too long, and now Isidore at least half clears.
Again, bodies in the box for Sunderland. Great defending.
Timber now with that black headband out to the right hand side, and Saka infield to Timber, and then Eze thought he was pulled, but it's a fair challenge by Granit Xhaka.
No.
And then Isidore is felled by Zubimendi,
and a booking,
and it's going to be the first yellow card of the game, and you don't even think that was a foul.
Wow, that's hard to believe. Yeah, Again, has he seen something I haven't seen, Ben?
It's a challenge from the side.
Won the ball. There you go. Replay shows he's won the ball. He's got that wrong. Pawson.
Zubimendi booked,
and
even though he appeared to win it.
You know as a player, Ben, as well. Zubimendi clearly knows and feels that he's won the ball and he's reacted in that way.
35 minutes gone. Chances few and far between. Sunderland go long, it bounces in the area. There might be an opportunity, and Sunderland have the lead. Dan Ballard ends Arsenal's run of clean sheets. Route 1 from a free kick that should never have been given. It bubbled around in the area, just to the right of the 6-yard area. And there is the big defender, Ballard, arriving opportunistically, and he smashes it into the middle of the goal. It's a really good finish, and it's Sunderland 1, league leaders Arsenal 0.
Brilliant from Sunderland and that young man. I think the last time he scored here was in the playoffs against Coventry that took them to Wembley. What a finish, like a striker's instinct. Works off the second ball. Carnage wins the first one, doesn't win the first one, but makes it difficult for Rice. Gets the second phase. And I have to say, nothing more than Sunderland deserve right at this moment in time, Ben.
Long ball went over the head of Ballard. Mukiele did ever so well to just nod it back in. And Ballard on the run takes just the fraction of a touch to knock it ahead of him and beat the defender. And then from there, he hammers it home. And that will be a special goal for Dan Ballard, who joined Arsenal's youth system, aged 6 years old, and then was sold to Sunderland for $2 million in June 2022. He never played for Arsenal, but now he's scored against them.
Wow, what a moment for the young man. What a moment, and it took the roof off the Stadium of Light. Game on.
So Arsenal are fallible. It will not be a clean sheet. They did not concede a goal in October, but they are 1-0 down here. And as it stands, Sunderland, long way to go I know, would be second in the Premier League table. First attempt on target, and Dan Ballard is the difference between the two sides.
Big test this now for Arsenal. This Arsenal team. Since the Liverpool game, they've had it all their own way so far. They've been able to dominate games. A variety of goals from set pieces.
Timber looking for a response. Does well to turn away from his man. Infield to Eberici Eze on the edge of the area, slightly to the right-hand side. 11 behind the ball for Sunderland. Eze goes square to Gabriel, who helps it on to Leandro Trossard. Infield to Calafiori, who we haven't seen that much of. The Italian is forced backwards to Gabriel. Declan Rice on the left-hand side. Gabriel again, everyone getting a touch. Saliba now has it. Eze's to his right. Rice wanted that left. It goes to Eze instead. Under pressure. Just about offloads the ball to Timber. Eze again. And then the ball intended for Timber is cut out once more. Sunderland defending so well. And Arsenal lacking ideas at the moment, and if they can't get going in open play, maybe they've got to get the ball out wide and see if they can win some corners where they're so effective, or just of course get the ball in the box.
They're quite happy for it to go wide as well. Looking at their shape, they're shifting with the ball, moving in relation to the ball, this Sunderland team. Biggest problem is, can they maintain it?
Zubimendi to Trossard, who hesitates and then lays it back once again to Martin Zubimendi, who's capable of a goal, and a spectacular one, as he's proved already this season. Infield it goes to Eberici Eze, who runs a bit more positively, draws two defenders and lays it off to Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side. Saka's cross is blocked, Ronaldo again in the way, and Ronaldo's had Saka in his back pocket so far.
Kept quiet. We need more input from Saka.
It is an Arsenal throw-in though, which is taken quickly, and now Saka has it once more. Cuts in field, Lefea's tracking him. Gabriel, Calafiori, 30 yards from goal in the central area. Short pass to Martin Zubimendi. Calafiori has stayed up. Trossard receives the ball on the left-hand side. just outside the area. No overlap or options. Goes back to Gabriel. He helps him first time. It's another good clearance. This time via a header from Granit Xhaka, and that gets warm applause from the home fans. Sunderland under the cosh a little bit, and there'll be far more than 5 minutes to go here because of the added time. It's an Arsenal throw-in, far left-hand side, level with the penalty area, and Ricardo Calafiori, left hand up in the air, leaning back right by the advertising hoardings, launches one in first time. It's dealt with by Mukiele. Calafiori picks it up again, he does ever so well. Fantastic first touch, but then in trying to take it to the byline, he's guilty of a push, and Sunderland get a welcome respite.
Yeah, good play again, good defending. Arsenal can't get back in this game. Huge team talk from Mikel Arteta. There's the goal again. Misses the first one. Ballard reacts better and more quicker off the second phase. Swazzes it with his right foot off the outside of his boot and then high into the Arsenal net. What a great goal for the young man.
For our international audience, define swazzing it.
Yeah, well, it takes too long, that, Ben.
Hitting it really hard.
Yes.
Just no nonsense. Powerful finish, but it was a deft first touch that put him in a position to beat Raya at his near post. Arsenal come again through Trossard, who is well tackled by Trey Hume, and then Trossard in frustration leaves a foot in, and again Sunderland will have a free kick, and they're going to take an age with this.
Frustrated. You can see the players are frustrated. Arteta's frustrated on the sideline. Great ploy, great tactics from this Sunderland team and Roger Lebris. Frustrating Arsenal at every opportunity they can. Players around the ball. I was looking at when the ball goes wide, they want it to go wide. Nothing comes through the middle of them. But there's two players every time it goes out to Trossard or Saka. There's two red and white shirts out there closing them down. Arsenal then, when they see that, have to move it back inside quicker to try and draw it out, to slide down the sides.
Sunderland 1, Arsenal 0. Dan Ballard the scorer. Sunderland in our live table are second on 21 points. Arsenal on 25. Man City and Tottenham completing the top four, even though Tottenham dropped points today. And Chelsea Wolves to follow on Premier League Live from 8 o'clock. Do join us for that one. Live from Stamford Bridge, John Anderson and Paul Parker are your commentators. 43 minutes gone here at the Stadium of Light. And Sunderland quite comfortable defensively.
They have been, yeah. And they're unsettled, Arsenal, Ben. They've unsettled Arsenal.
Robin Ruffs gathers the ball. He just had to wait because it looked like it might bounce slightly outside his area, and Eberechi Eze was putting him under a bit of pressure. But Ruffs had the awareness to know exactly where the white line was and just let the ball bounce and gathered it. And then he plays a short pass to Gertruder and receives it back before eventually just getting distance on his clearance, but he slices it, and it will be an Arsenal throw-in on this near right-hand side for Timber to take. Backwards he goes to the feet of Saliba, who's being challenged by Isidore, just about able to find Timber, and now Zubimendi switches the play. Gabriel, Calafiori, first time ball, but Rice wasn't really on the same page down the channel, and Mukiele is there to mop up, and again clear back to central midfield where Martin Zubimendi picks it up. He's got a bit more space, didn't want to move the ball quickly to the right hand side. Sunderland have got their shape back, but Timber does pick it up. Zubimendi again, but everything's a bit slow, and Sunderland have got their back five, or really more like a back nine. 10. Yeah, back 10 if you include the goalkeeper. And they're just moving, shifting as Arsenal try and find width. And it's all too easy so far. 30 seconds plus added time to go, but there will be a big number. We'll confirm what it is in just a second. Saliba, 30 yards from goal. Infield to Eberechi Eze. Trossard is out on the left-hand side. He wanted it early. He'll get it eventually via Gabriel. He's up against Hume, who's defended Trossard well so far this half. Trossard gets to the byline, but then crosses straight against the knees of Hume, and it spins away off Trossard.
Great play.
Final touch off the Arsenal player. Sunderland throw-in.
Great play from Hume. He's up against it against Trossard, but he's holding his own at the moment. He's probably been Arsenal's liveliest player in that final third. Trossard delivered a couple of decent balls in with his left foot. But this Sunderland side, the biggest key now, they will be looking forward to this 9 minutes?
Yeah, 9 minutes of added time. 2 long head injuries in the game. Timber, who's been bandaged up, in an ear or head injury to Mikel Merino as well, and Lefebvre was down for a bit too. So 9 minutes for Sunderland to see out what's been a perfect half so far. Eberechi Eze trying to change that, and he's just tugged back as he crosses over the halfway line by Xhaka. And I think the Sunderland captain might be booked here.
Scrapping it they for every single ball, fighting, scratching, pulling, tackling. What a performance. It's not great to watch, but they won't be bothered. Stays like this.
Xhaka is going to go in the book for just grabbing the shoulder and tugging the shirt of Eberechi Eze. Free kick to Arsenal. Very central, not the best angle to deliver. It's about 35 yards from goal, and right on the corner of the area there's 5 Arsenal players, this one off the training ground, and they're going to make their way towards the penalty spot or 6-yard area. A lot of pushing and shoving. Rice delivers. First header was won by Gabriel. It bobbles around in the area. Eze picks it up but has to bring it outside the area and pass out wide to Bukayo Saka, who skips away from Lefebvre, but then a firm challenge comes in by Siddiqui. That's what I love about the Sunderland side. When one man's beaten, another player's so alert to it.
That's what we're saying. They're doubling up everywhere, getting bodies around the ball.
Here's Declan Rice, fizzes one in. That was a better ball, and it was met by the head of Saliba, but he was stooping and the ball was slightly behind him. Now Calafiori whips one into Saka, who wins the first header, and it's laid off to Saliba, and he fluffs his lines. We just saw one defender in Ballard score a superb goal. Saliba had time, but it was a wild effort rising over the bar. Sunderland want a foul anyway, but Saliba couldn't finish.
Yeah, he's got to do better. Oh, well, I mean, it does sit up. He's actually got time to take a touch, Ben. And that's where you want Mikel Merino in that position there. It's 1-1, I think, if it falls to him. Poor finish.
Saka, though, who won the header, I think may have fouled Ronaldo.
Yeah, it might have been overruled. Better from Arsenal.
47 minutes gone. 9 minutes of added time, so we've actually played nearly 3 minutes of it because we're about to hit 48. It's Sunderland 1, Arsenal 0. Dan Ballard the scorer, the Arsenal Youth Academy product, finally ending this run of Arsenal clean sheets.
There is no fear in this Sunderland side whatsoever. Been so impressed with their first half performance. It's not been pretty.
And equally as impressive, people will say, well, they spent nearly 150 million over the summer, but so many new faces, so to have this kind of chemistry so early in the season.
Terrific. Spent a lot of time on this shape during the week on the training pitch, that's for sure.
Declan Rice to Trossard. Arsenal too predictable at the moment. Hume comes over to Trossard again. Back to Gabriel. Swings it in first time. Timber can't win the header. Saka picks it up on the edge of the area, but is going to have to go backwards. And now the ball is with Merino in the centre of the park. Don't forget as well in all of this, apart from Arsenal, who's got the other second best defence in the Premier League? It's Sunderland. They've only conceded 8 goals, which is astonishing for a newly promoted side.
Fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
And that makes it all the harder for Arsenal. Now Sunderland have got their noses in front. Here is Gabriel. Short diagonal pass to Calafiori. Cross again, blocked first time. Traore sliding in.
You look at the last 5 minutes, Ben, and Arsenal resorting to shifting that ball into the box from different areas of the pitch now, just trying to get a foothold in the game, unsettle Sunderland. They're just putting it in from wide areas. Trossard, whether it's Saliba, whether it's Gabriel there, Saka.
50 minutes gone. Sunderland 1, Arsenal 0. 4 minutes of the allocated 9 by the referee Craig Pawson remain. And here is Jurrien Timber for Arsenal on the right-hand side. Diagonal ball to Bukayo Saka, up against Ronaldo, Timber, Eze. 3 come over to Eberechi Eze. He's not been given a sniff, no space at all, but he actually does ever so well, and he hot-foots his way to the byline. What a run by Eberechi Eze. Cut back, can't quite find Saka, and then Marino unable to find Timber, and Ronaldo happy just to get distance on his clearance.
Like you said, Ben, the first time we've really seen Eze, but that's what he's good at, that's what he's all about, but he's picked the wrong ball. He's just got to flash that across the 6-yard box. It's full of red and white shirts. If a blue shirt's not on it.
Another ball into the area looking for Calafiori, and Ballard felt Calafiori was offside. Mukiele is down on the ground with what looks like a shin injury as well, and it will be Sunderland ball. And now we've only got 3.5 minutes for them to contend with. Mukiele actually won the header ahead of Calafiori, and then they clashed.
Thank God it's not another head injury. Another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Be missing my train home tonight.
It's a long first half, and it will feel even longer if you're an Arsenal fan. Sunderland leading the league leaders by 1-0. 51.5 minutes gone, and Robin Ruffs will go long, and the first header was won by Isidore, but Timber under pressure will pick it up. And
see, they've unsettled Arsenal.
Yeah, Raya had to come all the way out his area to bail Timber out. Did well, finds Mikel Merino, who decided to do a nonchalant back heel, hoping the ball would run on to Eberechi Eze down the right-hand side, but didn't execute it cleanly, and Hume comes away with it to Sunderland's benefit. Short ball to Traore, and now Sunderland go back into the centre of the park. Arsenal, all of a sudden, with everybody behind the ball, and Sunderland playing keep ball as they look to wind down the clock. 7 of the 9 minutes of added time have now been played, and the game management is excellent here by Sunderland. Granit Xhaka out to the left-hand side. Opportunity for Siddiqui on the edge of the area. They couldn't get a second, ball, could they? Xhaka puts a great ball in. Traore was arriving at the back post. Calafiori didn't get a call to leave it, so he glances it behind, and with 90 seconds of this first half remaining, it's a Sunderland corner.
Great ball in from Xhaka. It's like the orchestra there, the conductor. Conducting all the plays going through him. Siddiqui's a massive threat as well. He can get forward, he can break things up, and they're showing that they can play as well. They're not just route one, they're not just physical. They don't just press well, they can play when they're given the opportunity, and Arsenal gave them that opportunity there.
Sunderland's first corner of the game. Mukiele, one of 5 players in the 6-yard area. Xhaka to deliver it was dangerous as well, but Calafiori dealt with it. Such a crowd there, and if a red and white shirt had got there, Raya might have been in trouble. Ball back in from right to left. What a ball as well. Lefebvre will lay it off. Drilled effort coming in by Nordi Mukiele, and he should have done better. He tried to beat Raya with power at his near post. Possibly should have gone across the goal. Had loads of time and space. Lefebvre with great composure, but right-footed. Mukiele powers the ball, but he drags it wide, and that could have been 2.
You see by his manager's reaction on the sideline there, what an opportunity to go 2-0 in at half-time. Oh, he'll look back now. I hope it doesn't cost his team.
10 seconds of the 9 minutes remain, and Sunderland could have doubled their lead. Gabriel has it. Square ball to Eberechi Eze. Timber's on the right-hand side. He's bypassed. Saka, who's not been involved this half, gets a touch. Whistles because the 9 minutes are up. And there is the half-time whistle. And Sunderland have had a wonderful half. Dan Ballard, the Arsenal youth product, the difference between the sides, with a composed and powerful finish. And Nordi Mukiele possibly should have made it 2 right on the stroke of half-time, or at least hit the target, Eddie McGoldrick, with that effort. But Sunderland, good value for their lead.
Very good value. And what a story for this young man here, Dan Ballard, Northern Irish international as well. Grew up round Arsenal, grown up, taking the opportunity to get first team football. Wow, brilliant, absolutely terrific. Great first half performance. Labrie will be absolutely delighted. Xhaka conducting things there in midfield. Arsenal, Ben, not been at the best, but still a lot to play for. I'm sure he's going to tweak it at this moment in time. He's going to have to.
At the break at the Stadium of Light, it's Sunderland 1, Arsenal 0 on Premier League Live.
TalkSport Podcast League. Outspoken, the best of White and Jordan.
Now available in one unmissable daily podcast.
He's going to be in charge for a considerable period of time.
It's a load of old pony.
The final word on the final scores with Jim Mighty White.
I really mean this for sincerity.
And Simon the Saint Jordan.
What on earth have you got
I think I look like the Saint. I think it's a Simon Temple outlook. I expected to hear the na-na-na-na-na-na.
Outspoken, out now.
Listen or download for free from your favourite podcast portal.
Kick it! TalkSport Superstar Breakfast.
You wake up late for work, man, you don't want to go. Because Brazil and Paula haven't finished their show. Pump up the volume and make lots of noise. You're listening to the Breakfast Beastie Boys. You gotta fight for your rights to follow.
The original ill communication from the breakfast party animals. Alan Al Rock Brazil and Ray Party Paula on the TalkSport Superstar Breakfast every Friday morning from 6.
Whoa, yeah.
The TalkSport app. Yeah, it's the TalkSport app. Swipe left for TalkSport 2.
Und get in-depth interviews, the latest team news und all the sporting best bits.
Swipe right for TalkSport.
Mit unmissable Kick-by-Kick commentary of over 500 games of wunderbar live football across the season. Ah, das ist gut.
Give your phone
the finger.
The TalkSport app.
Zwei Finger, so invented.
What are you waiting for? Download it from your App Store. TalkSport Drive.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport. TalkSport Drive with me, Darren Bent.
And me, Andy Goldstein.
Sports radio that's guaranteed to go the distance.
Move up through the gears with all the day's sports.
Daily football debates, plus a bootload of banter.
Watch the lights. Release the clutch. Drive!
TalkSport Drive with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport.
The fastest football on the way home.
That's going to come back to haunt me, that one, isn't it?
It's another day of box office football here on TalkSport. So let's have a quick rundown of today's blockbusting lineup. In midfield, it's Anthony Flash Gordon.
Get heroic coverage of every epic clash.
Morgan Buck Rogers.
On the radio station that knows, with great power comes great responsibility.
And Martin Odegaardians of the Galaxy.
Well, these are the nights when heroes are made, where history will be written.
Also, Kyle Skywalker.
Magnificent counter-attack.
And Tyrone Mings the Merciless.
Supporters assemble. Captain's goal.
TalkSport.
Biddy.
Premier League Live, Ben Jacobs and Eddie McGoldrick. Half-time here at the Stadium of Light. So far, so good for Sunderland, who are heading second in the Premier League as it stands. Dan Ballard, the ex-Arsenal youth product, with a super goal against his former club. Sunderland 1, Arsenal 0. These are the first half highs. Sunderland go long, it bounces in the area. There might be an opportunity, and Sunderland have the lead. Dan Ballard ends Arsenal's run of clean sheets. Route 1 for a free kick that should never have been given. It bubbled around in the area, just to the right of the 6-yard area. And there is the big defender, Ballard, arriving opportunistically, and he smashes it into the middle of the goal. It's a really good finish.
What a finish, like a striker's instinct. Works off the second ball. Carnage wins the first one, doesn't win the first one, but makes it difficult for Rice. Gets the second phase. And I have to say, nothing more than Sunderland deserve right at this moment in time, Ben.
Now Calafiori whips one into Saka, who wins the first header, and it's laid off to Saliba, and he fluffs his lines. We just saw one defender in Ballard score a superb goal. Saliba had time, but it was a wild effort rising over the bar. Half-time then at the Stadium of Light. Arsenal 1, Sunderland 0. Nordi Mukiele with a golden opportunity to make it 2-0 on the break. And Arsenal are struggling, Eddie McGoldrick, against a well-oiled and clinical Sunderland side.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Mikel does, what he says. what type of impact, and he needs a reaction now off his team, Ben. He needs a big reaction. They've been unsettled, and that you can't take nothing away from Sunderland. Pure, absolute, raw intention to get in their faces, stop them playing, unsettle them, and they've done that. And they've done it terrifically. Defensively, they've doubled up in the wide areas. They've committed players through the central areas so nothing comes through them. Great shape. The biggest threat for me is, can they sustain it now, Sunderland? But yeah, big second half. They'll be disappointed, Arsenal, in their performance, because they clearly were not at it. And in terms of the way Sunderland have got at them, it has unsettled them. So, game on now. They've got to change. They've got to find a threat. They've got to find a way forward to beat this press, beat this physical presence that Sunderland are implying on them. And can they overcome it?
We'll talk about a fantastic Dan Ballard finish in just a moment, but one thing we didn't really discuss in commentary was the build-up to the goal. It was a free kick that resulted in Martin Zubimendi being booked, and you didn't even think it should have been a foul. Do you sense Mikel Arteta will come back to that free kick post-match?
If they lose, yes, I think he will. I think he'll feel they were on the wrong end of a poor decision from the referee. I didn't see anything in it initially, Ben. I thought there was contact in terms of Zubimendi winning the ball first, and then the follow through. There's nothing you can do about that. He came inside on, his foot wasn't raised, so I think it was a poor decision from the referee, and he was quickly on it as well. He was quickly on it. As soon as it bang, he'd made that decision, and then they didn't deal with the resulting free kick.
But the finish from Ballard was more Isidore or Marino or Gyokeres. It was the striker's finish.
Brilliant finish. I mean, he's obviously got that in the locker. Like I said, a little bit of swaz on it, high into the net, but again, brilliant play. He's unsettled Declan Rice, put pressure on him physically. Rice hasn't reacted off the second ball. He stepped into the space, and yeah, I mean, the distances between, I feel, Saliba there and Gabriel to react off that were not good enough. And Arsenal, probably for the first time in a long time, have shown up a few problems.
And right at the end of the half, should Nordi Mukiele have made it 2 or at least hit the target?
He's got to make the keeper work. Great play. Good ball in from the set piece. It's been recycled back in through Xhaka. Ball out wide. Great play from Lefebvre on the left-hand side, and he's got to do better. He's got to hit the target and make Raya work. Goal was there for him, so yeah, totally interesting game there. That goes in.
And what can Arsenal do to change this game, either with existing personnel or from the bench? Because although they've got versatile players like Ethan Nwaneri, Max Dowman and Eze as well, who had a good run to close the half, not that much attacking depth on the bench due to the fact that Victor Gyokeres is missing.
Yeah, and Odegaard. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he does and how long he leaves it, Ben. How long he leaves it. The biggest thing for Sunderland is, can they sustain this shape? Can they sustain this work rate and this physical presence that they have and they're imposing on this Arsenal team? I don't think they can. I think once we start to get into the 65, 70 minute mark, you'll start to see them flag a bit. I hope they don't, because it's been a terrific performance from them. But Arsenal need to dominate the ball more. They need to move it quicker into the wider areas and expose, as the game goes on, expose those lapses and those spaces that Sunderland will obviously give them, I think, in terms of their fatigue.
More from Eddie in just a moment. Second half is underway soon too. Sunderland heading second in the Premier League table. I'm sure Regis Lebris will keep saying they just want to get to 40 and stay up, but this is European form and they will be closest to the league leaders if the score stays as is. Dan Ballard is the difference between the sides. He left Arsenal having joined their youth academy at the age of 6. He never played for Arsenal's senior team, but now he has scored against them, and Sunderland are leading Arsenal by a 1-0, and Arsenal's fantastic run of clean sheets is now over. Second half is coming next. We've got one more game as well after this. That's Chelsea against Wolves. I'll give you the team news in due course. Enzo Maresca's side are looking to bounce back from a disappointing 2-2 draw against Qarabag in the Champions League. And Wolves are managerless at the moment, but the Middlesbrough boss Rob Edwards is expected to take charge of them, but he won't be in the dugout for the game this evening. That's at 8 o'clock. But up next, second half here from the Stadium of Light on Premier League Live.
Previously on White and Jordan.
The Championship gets an old geezer swinging a rattle. It's all about packaging and imagery and stardust, and the Championship and the EFL wants to be looked like the runt of a litter.
More meat, less waffle.
The opportunities are huge.
White and Jordan.
Join the binary broadcast blowout weekday mornings from 10
on the world-famous TalkSport.
In the year 2000, TalkSport established an elite breakfast show for the top 1% of former professional footballers. Alan Brazil is the original maverick.
Flaps up for the football. Turbocharged twin-engine breakfast radio with Alan callsign Roll Out the Barrel Brazil.
Turn and burn, baby. And Ray Party 7 Parlour.
Well, how can you keep this thing the right way up? My beer's going everywhere.
The all-action TalkSport Superstar Breakfast with Alan Maverick Brazil.
I've been flying through the danger zone for 20 years.
And his wingman, me, Ray Party Parlour.
Every Friday morning from 6 on TalkSport.
I feel the need for speed.
TalkSport Drive. Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport.
TalkSport Drive with me, Darren Bent.
And me, Andy Goldstein.
All-terrain sports radio for a power-hungry nation.
The national radio show with a bootload of sport.
Unrivaled, opinionated comment from the biggest names in sport and Andy Goldstein.
Mirror, signal, move over for TalkSport Drive.
with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport.
The fastest football on the way home. Get updates on the teams and squads, plus all the latest betting odds. All it takes is just one tap. Kill boredom dead with the TalkSport app.
The TalkSport app. Hear, watch and scroll unbeatable content from the world's biggest sports radio station. Whenever you want, wherever you want. Available from the App Store now. Terms and conditions apply.
Week in the Tackle with Tom Ruddy and Brian Dunseth is a weekly podcast where we tackle the top stories from the world of football.
We'll be talking about the Premier League, Champions League, Major League Soccer, and of course, look ahead to the World Cup.
A full year of hype followed by an ignominious group stage exit. Just hook it to my veins.
Rennie, you talking about the United States or England?
Good point, well made, likely both.
A Week in the Tackle is available wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe today so you don't miss a single episode.
Reasons to like TalkSport. 1, 2, 3. A bit of Simon Jordan. The hottest news from F1. The latest transfer deals done. Walks me.
Well, these were the swinging 70s, Anne.
Tony Cascarino. A trip to the casino. A pint of cappuccino. Alan Brazil.
Just brilliant.
Adrian Durham. Come here if you want some. We'll bloom and take you all on TalkSport's got skills.
Don't be a blockhead. Listen to TalkSport on DAB Digital Radio 1089 and 1053 AM, on the app and on your smart speaker.
TalkSport.
Premier League Live, Ben Jacobs and Eddie McGoldrick with you. Second half about to get underway. Sunderland halfway to a famous victory against the league leaders. Dan Ballard the difference between the sides, and Arsenal have come out first here. We'll confirm whether there's any changes at the break. I doubt we'll see any Sunderland substitutions at half-time. Officials now making their way onto the field as well. Eddie McGoldrick is alongside me. What will Mikel Arteta have said at half-time?
Well, if the Netflix series that we all watched a couple of years back was anything to go by, I think there might have been some harsh words flying about, but I think he's a different manager now. He's a lot more calmer, although he was irritated, and clearly and rightly so irritated by that first half performance. They just didn't do what they've been good at and what they've done in this first part of the season. But yeah, it needs to improve. They need to impose themselves more in the game. They need to have better quality. They have better openings, create better openings, see the space and get at this Sunderland back five, which they haven't done yet. But I was just going to say to you, Ben, you look at the Sunderland side and they clearly, it's amazing, they do not look like they've just been promoted to the Premier League. They look like they've been in this league. They've gone up and been there now 3 or 4 seasons. That's how accomplished they look and confident in their own ability and their game plan. Looks like they've been here quite a long time and not 7 years out of it.
Is that what you get when you sign Granit Xhaka, ex-Arsenal, Ronaldo, ex-Atletico Madrid? These players don't have a championship mentality because they were never down there.
And that is the key word, mentality. So obviously the manager's doing something right. He's bringing in players that have the right mentality and the right ideas and the way they influence the rest of certainly the young players in this team is clear to see.
Arsenal are going to get us underway, kicking from right to left in their bluey purple kit. Sunderland in red and white stripes, black shorts and red and white socks. Eze standing over the ball. No changes for either side at half-time. Dan Ballard is the difference between the sides. Ben Jacobs and Eddie McGoldrick with you on Premier League Live. Second half is now underway and it's a big one for both sides. Sunderland looking to upset the league leaders and Arsenal need to find some spark. Ruffs, Hume, Mukiele, Ballard, Gertruda and Ronaldo, Traore, Xhaka, Siddiqui, Lefay and Isidore up against Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel and Calafiori, Zubimendi and Rice, Saka, Eze, Trossard and Marino. What does Bukayo Saka have to do to get more in the game?
More input, more energy, more physical presence. You need to find a way. It's very difficult for wingers. I played in that position for a number of years. And when you're not in the game, you need to get in it. You need to find a way into the game. How you do that, I don't know. Get on the ball more, create more space, run beyond, give the post of fullback a problem, give him something else to think about because he's very predictable at this moment in time.
Ross Eddy was talking, Declan Rice put a throw in into the box. It nearly fell to Eze. He got his foot to it, but it was blocked. And now the ball is still on the right-hand side. Sunderland very deep. Saliba able to bring it 40 yards from goal. Zubimendi and Saka in a slightly more central area, briefly anyway. Calafiori in central midfield. Spreads the ball diagonally to Trossard on the left-hand side. He's on the edge of the area, looking for options with his right foot. Infield to Gabriel. Everyone getting a touch, but the passing not that progressive at the moment from Arsenal. Rice. Now switched again to Trossard on the left-hand side. Chased down by Traore.
I mean, look at the shape, Ben. There's not a lot you can do. Sunderland have every single player behind the ball. There's not a lot you can do to break that down unless you go route one from the wide areas and go match them up physically.
Sunderland have only conceded 8 goals in 10 Premier League games. Leandro Trossard to Mikel Merino. Now Bukayo Saka helps it on to Timber, who got that head injury in the first half, and he's strapped up around the forehead. Back to Saka again, scoops one in, and that's a cross of frustration. It's overcooked and it's a goal kick.
And that's what I'm talking about. Poor quality. Nobody's spinning around the back. There's always got to be a run around the back. Somebody that comes out, arcs that run in case it's overhit.
Sunderland ranked second in the Premier League for goals conceded, 8. Only Arsenal with a stingier defence. And also 4 clean sheets for Sunderland. They are third in the Premier League in that category. And they are third in save ratio as well. Robin Ruffs with 81%. So that tells you the challenge here, facing Arsenal on the road. And Sunderland hungry for a second now, as they do well down the right-hand side to feed the ball into Isidore. It was an intrepid run by Siddiqui, took a little deflection, and it nearly fell into the path of Isidore, and then it just spins out on the right-hand side, and the last touch will be off Saka. More good pressing by Sunderland, and out of nowhere, Isidore has won his side a corner.
Brilliant play again from Siddiqui down that left-hand side, just putting the shift in. Wants to run at people, wants to unsettle them, wants to cause some problems, and they're working off that unsettlement that they're causing Arsenal and that hesitancy in their back four.
Lefay with a corner, far left-hand side, both hands up in the air, and he tried to just sort of drill that one pretty much into no man's land. Bit of miscommunication there, I think. All the players ran from the left to the central area, the 6-yard area, and it looked like Lefay was trying to tee someone up on the edge of the area, but that angle only took the ball towards the penalty spot, and there were no Sunderland players there.
Arsenal got to the pitch. got to get up the pitch. They need more urgency in the game.
First error at the back there by Sunderland in the second half, and Leandro Trossard trying to make the most of it. It was Gertruda who was too flat-footed in possession. He got caught, and then Trossard was caught by Gertruda. Good advantage played though, because it's fed in towards Zubimendi, who on the spin just tried to get a shot away, and it counts as an effort on target, but it wasn't hit with any conviction. He did well to originally just spin away from Siddiqui, but that is bread and butter for roughs.
I think they'd have preferred the free kick, Arsenal. Central area.
I think you're right. Mourinho had a bit more time as well.
He felt
he rushed
doing,
it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I think Craig Pawson thought he was doing the right thing, but clearly the way Sunderland is set up is not the right thing. Wasn't the right decision for Arsenal.
Traore has it for Sunderland and goes backwards to Ballard, the goal scorer. Stadium of Light in excellent voice. Team news to come very shortly from Chelsea against Wolves. I can tell you that Chelsea have made 8 changes. Pedro Neto and Liam Delap are both in the starting 11, and that's Liam Delap's first start for Chelsea. I'll run through the 11s for you when we get a break and play in more detail. 50 minutes gone here. Marino, that's a neat ball to the byline. Cross comes in, intended for Marino. Half cleared by Lefebvre, and who's there? Granit Xhaka. Right place, right time to clear back towards the halfway line.
Better play. Got in behind Timber. Good link-up play down the right-hand side. But he's got to stand it up. You need quality there. He's got bodies in the box. That's what they're lacking at the moment, Arsenal at the moment. Just that final quality when they do get there.
Sunderland so deep, no space. Arsenal, as you would expect in this half, with much of the ball. Calafiori helps it on to Leandro Trossard, the ex-Brighton man. Calafiori had wandered into an offside position, so no ability to do a give and go. Trossard to the edge of the area. Now it's fed in towards Bukayo Saka, and kind of similar to where Nordi Mukiele was in the first half, but this time Saka decided to go for the far right-hand corner, and he wastes it. He drags it wide. Trossard on the edge of the area to Marino, who put an incisive ball back to Saka, but then he couldn't hit the target.
Just going to say that, Ben, Arsenal's best move of the game so far. Quick, incisive, move the ball. Saka's got to hit the target. He's got to make the keeper work there. Mourinho's got to tap in if it goes back across the box. Better play.
Arsenal with 106 passes in the final third compared to Sunderland's 20, but not many of them have been as incisive as what we just saw a moment ago. Saka couldn't make the most of it, and Sunderland continue to frustrate. Sunderland 1, Arsenal 0.
I think if it turns into a basketball match, the longer the game goes from end to end, it will suit Arsenal better.
Is this just the kind of game where if Arsenal get 1, they'll probably go on and get 2?
Potentially, yes. I don't think the game is stretched now. You can see it, or looking at the distances now into transition from this Sunderland team within the first 10 minutes.
Timber to Saka, back to Timber again, and his cross takes a deflection. It doesn't go out of play, and it helps Sunderland because Robin Ruffs is able to gather the ball and waste
more urgency about
seconds.
Arsenal now, Ben.
They're just moving the ball quicker, aren't they? It's the beauty, though, of that new goalkeeper rule. You can waste 7.99, but 8.1 or more, and it's a corner. So that means the restarts can't have any time wasting of particular note. But Sunderland, when they do have the ball, even though it's not that much in this second half, are quite comfortable on it, even under pressure.
There you go.
Although that's Declan Rice winning the ball back off Lefebvre, and it'll be laid off to the right-hand side, and Bukayo Saka, and this time he does finish, beating Robin Ruffs at his near post. Lefebvre was lackadaisical. Rice's pressing resulted in an error. It was worked quickly down the right-hand side. There was space for Saka, quick feet to make the space to get the shot away, and a powerful release, beating Robin Ruffs. Sunderland goalkeeper may be a bit disappointed. Marino will get the assist. He drew Granit Xhaka, laid it off to the right-hand side, and that created the space for Saka to score, and it's Sunderland 1, Arsenal 1.
Brilliant play from Declan Rice. He's won the press, he's turned it over into Eze as he slips Saka in, and a great finish, just what Arsenal needed. But for the life of me, why have you changed your perception now of what you need to do Sunderland's back four? They never tried to play out in the first half from the back. Crazy. Arsenal back in it.
Saka's third Premier League goal of the season for the 24-year-old, and it's Sunderland 1, Arsenal 1. I cursed them because I was saying they're composed on the ball, and then Lefebvre just dilly-dallied.
Yeah, and you can't do that against Arsenal's players. Their top players in there, yes, they've had a bad first half, but it's in there. Can't do that against good clubs, good teams.
10 minutes gone in the second half, and now a really dangerous period for Sunderland.
Game's open now, isn't it?
Calafiori on the ball on the left-hand side, back to Declan Rice. England international finds Leandro Trossard, who delays, and then does find Timber inside the box, and he was in space momentarily, but he wasn't that comfortable with his back to goal, spinning around, and that gave time for Xhaka to recover.
Yeah, that's the right full-back Timber as well, playing in the inside left channel. Look a bit ragged now, Sunderland, they need to compose. Xhaka needs to pull them back in, get back to doing what they've done in the first half. Momentum swung.
Saliba spreads the ball to Saka on the right. Tries a little 1-2 with Timber, doesn't quite come off, and then Marino just about keeps the play alive. Gabriel to Declan Rice, 35 yards from goal. Short pass to Marino again. Spanish international pulling the strings all of a sudden. To Declan Rice once more in a central area, 30 yards from goal. Trossard down the line to Calafiori. Traore steps in front of him and is just about fouled. He was definitely waiting for contact to go down, and Calafiori is penalised.
Clever play, but better again from Arsenal. They're working it quicker, got more movement into the spaces in behind. Goalkeeper's opened it up for him there, I think. He's got to go back across the goal, make it difficult for him. Made it too easy for Saka there. Great finish on his right foot.
Because Ruffs is in a good position, he just can't get down. I mean, Saka hits it hard.
Yeah.
But is there a question mark over the goalkeeping?
I think so. I think he's got to do better at that near post.
Sunderland 1, Arsenal 1. All Arsenal all of a sudden. Declan Rice, 30 yards from goal. Diagonal ball to Calafiori. Italian helps it on to Trossard and then offers an overlap. Trossard instead plays it in field. That was a brilliant ball by Leandro Trossard. He used Calafiori as a decoy. He gave everyone the eyes and he just threaded it into the 6-yard area. And arriving was Martin Zubimendi ahead of Ballard, just trying to help it into, as he looks at it, the far right-hand corner. Just didn't quite hit it cleanly enough, but that was a brilliant ball and nearly a death finish.
Great ball from Trossard. He's got that vision, he's had a good game. He said at half-time he was probably Arsenal's best offensive player in that final third, and he started the second half really well. Great run from Zubimendi, just couldn't get the contact and the purchase on it that he really needed.
8 o'clock, we've got Chelsea Wolves, so we'll give you that team news in a moment. Paul Parker, John Anderson are your commentators for that one. Still over half an hour remaining though in this game, and it's Sunderland 1, Arsenal 1, 58 minutes gone, and Sunderland win themselves a throw-in whilst I'm speaking on the halfway line. Nordi Mukiele to take it. How soon before we see some Sunderland changes?
I don't know, 5-10 minutes maybe. We get to what, maybe 65-70 I'd say, if it continues in this vein and Arsenal are still dominating the way they are. I think he'll look to change it. It's amazing how quickly a game can change with a goal.
Here's Eberici Eze, space is starting to appear. Xhaka tracking back, marking Marino. Ball is worked to Saka on the right hand side. Sunderland maybe tiring a little bit, which is why I think we might see some changes soon. Eze to Calafiori. Now Trossard picks it up on the left-hand side, on the edge of the area. again uses Calafiori as a decoy, and then tries to get the byline, but didn't have that many options, and on this occasion Trey Hume tracked him and just pokes the ball out of play for an Arsenal throw-in, level with the 6-yard area, and Calafiori will wipe down this new Premier League winter ball, which is yellow, but doesn't go long, instead goes backwards to the feet of Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba, and Merino once more. Isidore, the lone player pressing at the moment for Sunderland. Declan Rice, Trossard back to Rice. Lots of Arsenal movement. Declan Rice on the edge of the area. 3 come to him. He goes square to Merino. Arsenal's intricate passing here is superb. And finally, Calafiori gets a diagonal ball. Still on the edge of the area. Back to Trossard. Declan Rice. The way Arsenal are moving this ball and keeping it alive is superb. Trossard to Calafiori. Good composure by him as well, but he can't quite get the cross in. And that was also Hume defending well, and Xhaka able to also half clear for Sunderland. But it's wave after wave of Arsenal pressure. Declan Rice on the edge of the area. His cross is blocked by Mukiele, but then it falls to Eberechi Eze, who hit it instinctively because the ball was at a good height on the half volley. Good effort. But it's straight at roughs.
Yeah, great patient play from Arsenal. Real spring in their step now, taking control of the game, dominating the ball. And the key to it is their runners beyond now. Too static Sunderland now, whereas there was just nothing was coming through the middle of them. Everything was going wide. Arsenal are looking to penetrate in behind now, and Sunderland can't cope with it.
Brian Brobby is stripped off for Sunderland, and I can also see Chesmedine Talby, who got that dramatic late winner at Stamford Bridge. So we are maybe going to see some changes soon. You would think that Isidore will be the player to depart for Brobby. And if Talby comes on, if it's a like-for-like swap, it might be Traore, but we'll confirm those substitutes for you in due course. Sunderland 1, Arsenal 1 on Premier League Live. Ben Jacobs and Eddie McGoldrick with you as the ball is spread out to the left-hand side for Sunderland, and then it's worked infield to Ronaldo, who we haven't seen that much of. Gertruda on the edge of the area. He's able to find some space, and Lefebvre was inside the box, and he got half a shot away, but Calafiori blocks.
Better play.
"61 minutes gone, and Sunderland may actually, I'm told, be preparing a triple change, because Simon Adringa, the ex-Brighton player, is also preparing to come on. So it does look like Regis Lebris wants fresh legs. Arsenal hurtling forwards though. Declan Rice over the halfway line to Leandro Trossard. He turns away from Mukiele, but the Sunderland player recovers well. Then chips one into the box that's only fractionally in front of Calafiori. Another really good ball. Once again though, it's defended this time by Siddiqui, and he's able to prevent the corner and hoof it clear right in front of both managers. And now this Sunderland triple change is ready to be made.
Great opportunity again for Trossard. Seen a lot of the ball, more than Saka. Saka's made that run from right to left, in behind, and he's in. Trossard sees it a little bit earlier. Ben, he can slide him in, but again posing that problem. So that's been a clear play and information given to this Arsenal team from their manager Arteta. They need to get in behind them a lot more, which they're doing now. It's causing them all sorts of problems.
So the first substitutions are made by Sunderland. Chesmedine Talby, Simon Adringa and Brian Brobby are the 3 to come on. Traore, Isidore and Lefebvre are the players who have departed. Sunderland would obviously be delighted with a point.
So will Man City and Liverpool.
Just shows though they're not infallible. But at the moment there's only one side that look like winning this, and that is Arsenal, who have got a second wind after equalising through Bukayo Saka, his 3rd Premier League goal of the season. And Sunderland are struggling to get their foot on the ball. Maybe the substitutes can change that.
And the key to it again as well, yes, in terms of where they've been, in terms of the levels that they've reached so far this season, Arsenal, they were poorer than what they've been. But it happens. It literally happens. My point being is that 2 years ago, a season ago, this would have really affected them. Now it doesn't, because of the mindset. There's been a massive shift.
Trossard on the edge of the area. He'll cut it back for Rice, who was closed down well by Brobbey. Adringa is now policing Saka. Saka crosses first time. It's dangerous. It's punched by Ruffs, and then it's off the top of the bar, and it won't be forced in. And that was a superb, instinctive effort coming in from Martin Zubimendi, just inside the area, controlled it, hit it first time, off the underside of the bar. It didn't cross the line. Sunderland living dangerously, and Marino nearly scored another wonder goal.
Yeah,
Zubimendi, I should say, sorry.
And Mourinho, like you said, Ben, he nearly got the first one from the original cross from Saka. Great strike from Zubimendi, in and around the box, brilliant technique.
Saka now, 65 minutes gone, and he is pushed. It's a soft foul, but it is the right decision. Ronaldo is complaining to the referee, saying there was no contact, but Bukayo Saka, in cutting in field from the right hand side, has won his team a free kick here, 25 yards from goal.
Good play from Saka, that's what he needed, and obviously he didn't do it in the first half. Now it's causing Sunderland a problem, because it's pulling players out of position. Arsenal creating overloads, little balls down the sides.
So Zubimendi off the underside of the bar. Sunderland 1, Arsenal 1. Free kick is about 15 yards infield. Declan Rice, Saka and Gabriel are the three players in conversation at the moment. Rice, the former West Ham man, sets himself over this ball once more. We've seen that quite a lot. 3 Arsenal players deliberating and then 2 of them walking away. There's a 2-man Sunderland wall at the moment, and there are 5 at the back post for Arsenal, currently just standing outside the 6-yard area. Rice is eyeing like he's going to cross this one. Left hand up in the air by Arsenal's number 41. In it comes. It's challenged by Marino on the goalkeeper, Ruffs. Marino nearly won the ball, and a late whistle will decide the goalkeeper was fouled. And now there's some afters between Mukiele, Ronaldo, Saka, Marino and Ruffs. Don't think the Sunderland players are particularly happy about the challenge on the goalkeeper. Don't think the Arsenal players are particularly happy about the goalkeeper's punch.
I mean, what's Mukiele getting involved in that for? It's a perfectly good challenge from Mourinho. He's got to go in there. And again, you look at this now, he's a little bit more animated now, Labrie, isn't he? Shouting to his players.
He's just telling them to keep their heads.
Keep their heads.
67 minutes gone. Arsenal have had 8 attempts this half, 3 on target. It shows you the improvement from an attacking point of view. But here's Mukiele to Taulby, the substitute, who has taken his place on that right-hand side. He plays a short ball to Hume, who's happy just to play it against the feet of Rice. And now it's Sunderland throw-in 35 yards from goal. Maybe they could even launch this into the box, but that's not how Mukiele is setting up at the moment. But now he does take some steps back. You wonder why those advertising boards are so close, given that with a long runner, Mukiele can basically throw it 50 yards. And they are going to go long, Sunderland. Mukiele in towards the 6-yard area. Calafiori with an authoritative header. Eze half clears. Mukiele then nods it into the path of Taulby, but Marino is back defending, and Arsenal will be able to get it away. Then Calafiori, in challenging, is going to needlessly foul Trey Hume. And out of nowhere, Hume's landed awkwardly, by the way. Sunderland have got a free kick, 35 yards from goal. And this is a good opportunity to put the ball in the box.
Just going to say that, an opportunity, and there's not a lot in it. Yeah, there's a little bit of contact down his Achilles, but Nothing intentional, but a good opportunity, like you said, Ben, to put the ball in the box now for Sunderland. They need a foothold in the game. They need to get back in and do something positive. Lift the crowd again. Have a shot on goal. Test the keeper. Arsenal dominating.
Sunderland's last win against a team starting top of the Premier League was a 1-0 win against Man City in January 2012. G scoring a 90th minute winner. 1-1 here, but a free kick in a dangerous position. Granit Xhaka, Sunderland captain, ex-Arsenal player with almost 300 appearances for the Gunners, is standing over the ball. It's very central. It's not at the best angle to deliver. Cluster of players just outside the area at the back post. One man, Eberici Eze wall. Xhaka's delivery, it's dangerous. Ballard won the first header, but he's going to be penalised for a foul on Calafiori.
Yeah, not a bad ball in. Decent ball in from Xhaka there, but they've just lost the way, haven't they?
20 minutes remain, plus added time, as Arsenal went long from the foul, looking for Saka. Ronaldo hits the deck. He wants a free kick. Saka doesn't agree. Ball goes out of play. Raya had realised Saka was in some space down the right-hand side. And finally the officials determine it is going to be a free kick in Ronaldo's favour. Saka can't believe it. And out his box comes Robin Ruffs to take the free kick, which is right by the touchline, a few yards infield, midway inside Sunderland's half. And Ruff's happy unapologetically to go route one. Ballard can't win the first header. Saka's up against Adringa and gets to the ball first. And then Arsenal go down the right-hand flank. It's going to be difficult for Eze to get his head to that, but Marino will pick it up. And now Saka can chip it infield. Zubimendi, that was a neat little header, nice idea. Eze was running from 10 into the box, but it was just a bit too strong, too clean a contact almost from the header. And Ruffs has got time to come off his line and gather.
Beautiful little touch from Zubimendi. He's just got to be on his bike a split second earlier there, Eze. But he's been class in the second half, Zubimendi. Linking the play. Not just prepared to sit in there. He's got in the box a couple of times now, hit the bar, dragged one wide. He's having a big influence in this second half. Quality player.
Chelsea Wolves to follow. And as I said earlier, Liam Delap makes his first Premier League start. João Pedro playing behind him. Pedro Neto back into the side. 8 changes from the Champions League for Chelsea. Sanchez Gusto, Fofana, Chalobah, Cucurella, Fernandes Caicedo, Pedro Neto, João Pedro, Alejandro Garnacho and Liam Delap. Wolves are managerless, but Rob Edwards is set to be their new boss from Middlesbrough, but not in the dugout for today. And Hwang and Strand Larsen both get a start as Ronaldo fouls Saka and just clipped his right leg from behind, and the former Atletico Madrid man will pick up a yellow.
It's causing him a problem now, isn't he? Doing in the second half what he certainly didn't do in the first half. But what I will say is that he had a double up every time as well, Saka. He's isolating him more now, he's pulling wide, he's coming back inside, moving the ball quicker, moving himself quicker, more urgency in his play. It's causing the fullback a load of problems.
I'll give you that Wolves 11 when we get another break in play, but Strand Larsen and Hwang both starting for the visitors. Ronaldo booked, Arsenal free kick, Declan Rice whips it in towards the near post, half cleared, Eze picks it up, back to Zubimendi, he scoops one towards the back post. Timber did well on the stretch to get a cross in, Xhaka's there to half clear, Adringa's going to lose out to Saka as the ball ricochets to the right hand side. Saka finds Rice. Arsenal again have been hungry and they've won the second ball and they've kept this attack alive. Leandro Trossard twisting and turning on the edge of the area. Calafiori on the overlap. Oh, Leandro Trossard uses Calafiori as a decoy, sets himself and picks his spot, and he fires one into the top left-hand corner. It's a brilliant finish by the Belgium. Arsenal's composure to keep the move alive was sublime, and then Trossard looked like he was going to use Calafiori on the overlap. The defenders fell for it. That created the space, and then from there Trossard set himself and picked his spot and finds the top left-hand corner for Sunderland 1, Arsenal 2.
Well, I said he's been their best player offensively, certainly in the first half, and not overused, but everything's gone through him. Brilliant, intelligent play. He delays, goes wide. Calafiori now, look, just waits for that run, drags one out, and what a finish. What a finish from the edge of the box. Terrific play from Trossard. He's been their best offensive player in this whole game, even in a poor first half. And what a season he's had so far. Brilliant, 2-1 Arsenal.
Second Premier League goal of the season for Leandro Trossard. Nothing Robin Ruffs could do about that. And Arsenal have come from behind, and you have to say, based on the second half, they deserve that.
Yeah, so whatever he said, whether it was quiet, whether it was loud, it's done the trick. But again, this Arsenal team, I said earlier on, they've got patience. I said in the build-up when I was talking to our colleagues in Ireland, they've got patience now. They don't need to win the game in the first half. This team will dominate the ball and grind you down. And that's what they've done.
Sorry, Eddie, Eberechi Eze was kind of manhandled there by Dan Ballard, dragged to the ground. We wait and see if there's a card. Arsenal away visiting fans and bench don't like it.
Pleased for Trossard as well, Ben. You know, a lot of questions about this team and does he deserve to stay in it, but his stats are good, his levels are good, he's creating, he's scoring, plenty of assists. What's that now, 8 assists and 2 goals?
Yes, and 2 of those assists have come in the Premier League, and now 2 goals in the Premier League. And it's Sunderland 1, Arsenal 2. Lot to like in the build-up, though. For example, one mini moment that kept the move alive. Bukayo Saka reading it by the corner flag on the right-hand side. Maybe Adringa could have cleared, but Saka just put his body in front of Adringa and made sure that possession continued.
And that's the impact he's had, and Arsenal needed that. They needed that from Saka.
Sunderland then are trailing. They have made 3 changes, and some of those players, like Adringa and Talby, are capable of getting into wide areas, and Brobby, of course, has fresh legs leading the line. So the substitutes may be able to have more of an attack-minded impact now as Sunderland try and get back in this game. But the danger, of course, is that will open gaps at the back, and Arsenal are looking hungry for what would be a killer third goal. As it stands, Arsenal are coming from behind to extend their lead at the top of the table. Arsenal 28 points now, Man City 19, Spurs 18, Liverpool 18. City and Liverpool have, of course, got a game in hand, but they play each other tomorrow in the late kickoff. And if they draw, it will mean that Arsenal will be 8 clear at the top. They are 9 ahead at the moment of Manchester City. And I know we're early, Eddie, in the season, but a 9-point gap with how well Arsenal are playing, that feels big.
It's huge, but they haven't won nothing yet. And I think that's the message that Arteta will be sending out. They haven't. It's going along nicely. They've been in this position before, Ben, and thrown it away. But the look of this team, the makeup of this team now, the DNA of this team now, is totally different to what it was 1, 2, 3, 4 years ago. He's got his team now. I think he's happy, he's settled, he's got the squad, he's got competition for places, he's got strength and depth, and they really, really have a will and a desire to win football matches, and you can see that it's evident from their second half performance. That first half performance 2 years ago, a year ago, you wouldn't see this now.
Sunderland had gone down the right-hand side, and Brian Brobby had acrobatically flicked the ball on into the path of Trey Hume, who was fouled by Calafiori. So it is a Sunderland free kick, and Hume delivers it first time from the right-hand side. Ballard can't quite win it. Adringa trying to keep it in by the touchline. Challenged by Timber. And the final touch is off the Arsenal man for a Sunderland throw-in right by the corner flag on the far left-hand side.
Decent ball in. That's what they need to do more of now, but they've got to get the ball, and they can't get the ball at the moment.
Mukiele arrows one into the 6-yard area. Ballard wins the first header. Brobby in front of Raya. Can't quite squeeze it in. He let the ball bounce.
The foul.
And Raya is there. And then a decision will go in Arsenal's way. Originally, Ballard flicked it on with his shoulder. Brobby may have been offside. Raya made the first stop. And I think it would have counted if it had just squeezed under him, because Brobby hadn't really interfered. But then when it came back out, Brobby dived in and tried to bundle it in at the far post and was in an offside position.
Yeah.
And that's why the whistle's gone.
And rightly so, but he doesn't know that. He's still got to play on. Great play from Ray. What a save. What a save. And I said earlier on in they celebrate, don't they? They celebrate saves and clearances and blocks like that. They've scored goals, Arsenal. That's what it means to them now.
And I like that, because it's not just about scoring, it's about saving goals.
Absolutely.
And if you're a goalkeeper, that's basically the only thing you do, so why not celebrate? But even though the Brobby follow-up was stopped by David Raya, and that wouldn't have counted if it had gone in directly off Ballard's shoulder, that would have been a good goal.
Yeah.
So Raya's save, vital. And just a warning sign for Arsenal that this game is not over. Now we've got Mukiele down off the ball at the moment, and I think he's landed awkwardly, clutching his lower back. And Zubimendi is just over there to check that he's okay. So we're going to have a stoppage in the game. No sign, by the way, up until this point, of an Arsenal substitution. Mikel Arteta just trusting the 11.
And I think he's got to Ben tonight. I think he has to. If you look at the strength and depth on that squad, we're talking about Ben White. He doesn't need to change it defensively at this moment in time unless somebody gets injured. Offensively, can you bring on Dalman? No, he's not going to bring him on in this type of game. It's too physical. Wanyeri, again, lightweight players that can come on at home and make a difference when, you know, they've got 50, 60,000 fans behind them. So again, not a lot of attacking options. Defensively, they're sound now. They've worked it out. They've coped now with the pressure that Sunderland have put on with them, certainly put on them in the first half. And it's a different game.
Premier League Live, Mukiele receiving treatment. Sunderland 1, Arsenal 2. Leandro Trossard with a fine finish. And that is the difference currently between the sides. Trossard, a contender for man of the match. Raya has been unusually busy in recent times, and we're just getting another look now at the replay of that fantastic Trossard strike.
He just slows him down. Now the difference between, now whether that's a little bit of fatigue, I said that, 70 minutes in when Trossard scores, 75 minutes in, whether that's fatigue in the Sunderland players, but he just slows him down. And then that run from Calafiori takes him away. A little bit of doubt in his mind. Full back where he was getting closer in the first half, and stopping that, can't get close. Too much time for Trossard. What a finish.
8 minutes to go, but obviously we've got a stoppage now, and the ball will be restarted. It was just an innocuous injury off the ball. Mukiele's back up on his feet and will come on in a sec, but because it wasn't a foul to Sunderland, it's a drop ball as Arsenal had possession, and the referee Craig Pawson does that, and now Arsenal immediately switch it to the right hand side, and back on comes Mukiele.
In control now, Arsenal moving the ball, more space to play in.
Gabriel Calafiori, who's had freedom to run down the left hand side, hasn't always received the ball when he's committed forwards. Declan Rice, short ball to Leandro Trossard on the near left hand side, and Arsenal go backwards. Bit of game management, winding down a little bit of the clock. Rice though is out-muscled by Mukiele, who's back on, and there might be a counter-attack here. Granit Xhaka down the line, perfect ball. Brian Brobby controls it with his shoulder, did well. Arsenal scramble back with numbers though. Talby has it, and he just skips away from Marino, but now Arsenal have got everyone back behind the ball. Just a fraction more pace on the ball from Xhaka, and Brobby would have been in.
Yeah, it's a nice flighted ball, but like you said, not enough pace. Saliba was round in the cover, but Gabriel dealt with it in the end. Good recovery.
Hume inside his own half. Sunderland are going to have to take a few risks. Arsenal are on course for a big win. And you know, when things are going well, you're keeping clean sheets, you get ahead in games, you're beating teams, that's one thing. But I think Mikel Arteta will look at this as one of Arsenal's best wins of the season. But is it going to be a win? Because it's fed forwards to Brobby, and Ronaldo, initially inside the area from across from the right hand side, just prodded it diagonally into the path of Brobby, and a brave Raya getting in the way. He's hurt his left hand in the process, but that was a superb ball in the box.
Great ball. What a ball. And the first time in this second half where they've gone to sleep, Arsenal. Great run from Ronaldo. He's just not got across quick enough, is he?
Is he trying to shoot, or is he trying to pass to Brobby?
No, I think his first touch is bad. I think he's trying to take that. He's not looking to slide the air. That's just a poor first touch. Great opportunity. Goes to sleep, Timber. That threat's still there. It's shown in the last couple of minutes. That's there.
Eliza Mayenda is warming up to come on. So another change pending for Sunderland. Yeah, I think Ronaldo didn't quite realise how much space he had. The ball was a bit stuck under his foot. He didn't want to shift and hit it with his right foot. So he just kind of half-heartedly touched it with his left.
Can he take it first time as well?
It was nearly a good pass inadvertently for Brian Brobby. Raya was brave to get down though and snuff out the danger from Brobby. Not sure he would have been able to stop a firmly hit first-time shot from Ronaldo, but we'll never know, because there was no conviction behind Ronaldo's effort, and it stays at Sunderland 1, Arsenal 2. But just coming back to what I was going to ask you, I think, I don't know if you agree, Mikel Arteta will look at this as a bit of a statement win.
I think so, yeah. I think so. It's another game won. It's another performance that hasn't been great, but it showed the characteristics of his Arsenal team. They've come out in the second half after a poor performance and put it right.
Not over yet though, and Sunderland are just starting to get into the Arsenal half.
A little bit more energy in this Sunderland team now. With no time's ticking away.
4 minutes to go as Talby crosses from the left. Not enough power or flight on it, and Eberechi Eze will bring it clear. Can't find Marino. Ronaldo is there. Granit Xhaka, Adringa on the left-hand side. Home crowd sense there still might be a twist in this game. Adringa up against Jurrien Timber. Not a bad ball in, but dealt with by the head of Saliba. But it's out for a Sunderland throw-in. Level with the edge of the area on the left-hand side. And in some ways as good as a corner, because Mukiele can once again put this into the box. But before he does so, we are going to see Eliza Mayenda come on for Gertruda.
Mosquero's coming on as well. Fair play to Arteta. He's seen the damage that they've done in the first half. Eze will come off. He's going 3 at the back. More height in there to deal with this threat.
Christian Mosquera, summer signing, who's been excellent from what we've seen. And as Eddie said, Eze the player to leave the field. So Arsenal making a defensive change. Eze taking an age, but the referee Craig Pawson showing the Sunderland bench he's stopped his watch. So Eze off, Mosquera on. 2.5 minutes plus added time remain. Mosquera very highly thought of by everybody at Arsenal, even though of course it's a task to oust Saliba or Magalhaes. From what we've seen so far, he's got a lot of maturity and he'll need it in these final few minutes, and the first thing he may have to deal with is this long Sunderland throw-in. Mukiele into the box, half cleared, only as far as Adringa, who loses out to Trossard, and now there might be a counter-attack on. Bukayo Saka, ball bobbled in front of him, but he does help it on to Declan Rice, who shrugs off Mukiele and finds Saka again. Calaforia's bursting forwards, Bukayo Saka inside the area, great challenge. Granit Xhaka had to be perfect, and he was, otherwise that would have been a penalty, and Xhaka uses all of his experience to stop Saka getting to the byline, and now Sunderland come away with it, and the game is open all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's stretched, it's end to end. Brilliant play from Xhaka, but brilliant play from Declan Rice. Had no support, takes it inside off Saka, there's only the two of them, and he's got Arsenal at the pitch and delayed it a couple of more seconds. But fantastic play, rolling back the years there, Granit Xhaka.
Sunderland have it on the left. Adringa, Timber and Saka come across. Short ball to Xhaka. And then Adringa wanted it down the left-hand flank, but it goes backwards to Ballard. Now Mukiele on the halfway line. Arsenal with everyone behind the ball. 1 minute plus added time to go. Ballard, Marino pressing, so Sunderland go backwards to Ruffs, and more time ticks away. Long ball by the goalkeeper, looks a bit too long, and it's met by the head of Timber. Up to Saka, who goes backwards to Timber again. Ball deflects into central midfield, and then there's a collision, and a long looping effort comes in because Ruffs was off his line. It was Declan Rice trying to score from inside his own half. I just hesitated because Gabriel and Brobby, in both going for the loose ball, had caught each other's legs, and they were both looking at the referee to say which way's the foul being given, and the ref said neither. And then Declan Rice just decided to try and spectacularly chip Ruffs from about 70 yards. And I'll tell you something, Eddie, he wasn't far off.
No, if he's on target, the goalkeeper's got a problem.
Now Ronaldo is down as 90 minutes goes up, and there'll be 7 minutes of added time.
Don't know where that's come from, second half.
Substitutes, there was one off-the-ball injury to Mukiele, but not much else other than the goals. Good news for Sunderland, though, as they launch a ball in, looking for Mukiele, who argues that's a corner, and the final touch is off an Arsenal defender. The officials are deliberating. Mosquera was back there making the challenge. 30 seconds of the 7 minutes have been played.
They've coped well with their physicality in the second half. Arsenal didn't in the first half. That's what makes them a little bit, gives them the edge over the other teams, that physical presence that they have. They've coped with it now. Second half they've done better with the ball.
Officials took an age there, but have determined it's a goal kick to Arsenal. It didn't come off Mosquera, which from what we've seen in our angle is the right decision. And 1 minute of the 7 has passed, as down in the centre of the park goes Mosquera. Dringa and Brobby both making a challenge, and down went Mosquera, needing no invitation, and wins his side a free kick just inside their own half on the halfway line. 30 seconds has passed of the 92nd minute, so Arsenal taking their time, and they play a diagonal ball looking for the corner flag, but the last touch will be off Timber, and Sunderland can throw it back to Robin Ruffs. It was a difficult bounce though for Ruffs, and he didn't exactly hit a clearance confidently, but it's fired straight back at him by Declan Rice. And now it's quickly played up to Taulby, and there's space here for Granit Xhaka. He's 35 yards from goal. He lays it off to Adringa, who crosses first time, and then Arsenal will clear. Sunderland, though, happy to just put the ball in the box. Rice gives it away. Taulby picks it up on the right-hand side. Mayenda has stayed in the box. Brobby and Ballard are there as well. Only 2 back at the moment for Sunderland as we approach the 93rd minute. Granit Xhaka on the halfway line. Ronaldo, Adringa on the left-hand side, looking for options up against Urian Timber. Square ball, finds Xhaka, who just works it out the left-hand side, and Taulby again, who scored late against Chelsea, looking to create something against Arsenal now. Adringa to Xhaka, plenty in the box for Sunderland. Cross comes in, it's a little bit undercooked, and Rice clears with his head, but only as far as Siddiqui, and it's all Sunderland at the moment. Granit Xhaka, square ball to Ronaldo. His cross is blocked, but it spins into the path of Hume, who chips it in first time. Ballard wins the first header, and then Brobby acrobatically finds the back of the net under pressure from David Raya, and the substitute has rescued a point for Sunderland, who were positive Granit Xhaka was involved. Worked out to the left-hand side, fired in first time. Ballard was up there making a challenge, and Brobby, the substitute, was the bravest man on the field. He threw himself at the ball under pressure by David Raya, and he has rescued Sunderland a point. if VAR decide there was no foul on the goalkeeper. Yeah. Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2.
Well, that's their only hope now, Arsenal, that it goes to that. Brilliant play from Xhaka every time he got the ball. Now it's a goal. That's a goal. And a perfectly good goal. Gabriel, or maybe a high foot, maybe, I don't know. Seen it again.
Is it high foot or low head?
Yeah, well, there you go.
I think that's a low head by Gabriel. It's just whether he catches the goalkeeper as Raya runs out. This should stand, surely.
It should, yeah. I think it's got to stand. They've got to make the right decision. But again, those Sunderland fans willing Granit Xhaka to shoot. Just kept playing it sideways till the right opportunity came in to put the ball in the box. And again, it was like the first half there. They got up ahead of steam, put it into the right area. Arsenal haven't dealt with it, and it's 2-2.
The goal stands. The Stadium of Light erupts, and Sunderland have come back to surely get a point. Brian Brobby, 23-year-old Dutch footballer, with his first Premier League goal, and it is a special one, as Regis Lebris' side look like they're going to get a point against the league leaders. And maybe on balance, even though Arsenal have been better in the second half, it's exactly what they deserve.
I think so, but I wouldn't write off a winner yet. Not the way this Premier League's gone.
2 minutes of the added time plus whatever has been put on for the goal, so likely 3.5 minutes to go. A marathon game, Premier League drama at its finest. And here's Jurrien Timber for Arsenal, and suddenly everyone's behind the ball for Sunderland. Can Arsenal find the character to come back again? Mosquera on the ball. Ironically, now you want Eberechi Eze, and he's not on the field. Trossard, Zubimendi out to the right hand side, and Saka, 1 minute to go. Saka swings one in, Calafiori free header, and then it falls to Marino, and that is a stunning block by Dan Ballard, who celebrates like he's just scored the winner. First rough saved from the head of Calafiori. He stood so big, and his hip just deflected the ball into the 6-yard area, and there was the run of Mikel Merino from point-blank range, but the knee of Ballard was in the way, and it stays at 2-2, but it is an Arsenal corner.
What a block, what an end. I told you, I said there'd be an end. Still not over this game yet.
Incredible save and block. 7 minutes are up. Arsenal have a corner, added time upon added time. Rice on the edge of the area, Bukayo Saka to deliver into the 6-yard area, high and looping. Trossard wins the first header. Sunderland scramble clear. Oh, Declan Rice nearly slips, and that would have put Taubi through, but he recovers. What an end to this game.
Breathtaking end.
7 minutes are up, but there's still probably a minute remaining. Sunderland fans ready to celebrate a point. And Arsenal in some ways might be relieved to have got something from this game as well, but they were so close just a moment ago to making it 3-2. 97.5 minutes on the clock, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal inside their own half as Marino is fouled. Ballard, epic against his former club. Arsenal go long down the right hand side. Saka will get there ahead of Ronaldo, and then the Atleti man gets a touch and finds Adringa. 98 minutes on the clock. Ronaldo goes long. Referee Craig Pawson looks at his watch. It's an Arsenal throw-in on the halfway line. The boos ring out because Sunderland feel the full-time whistle should go. Last chance maybe for Arsenal here. Declan Rice from the throw-in crosses over the halfway line and puts it into the box first time towards the back post. Marino wins the first header. Ruffs gathers, and that should surely be that. A hard-earned point for Sunderland as they wait for the full-time whistle from Craig Pawson, who goes long, and there is the full-time whistle, and Sunderland have got a superb point They move joint second, only third on goal difference, as Brian Brobby scores deep into added time and takes the roof off the Stadium of Light. And then after that, a save from Ruffs from Calafiori and a follow-up brilliantly blocked by Ballard as Mikel Merino